So my social security number is 000000001.
Wow.
Can't believe you're just
Wait,
gonna dox like Thomas Jefferson or something like that. I
look,
don't
he knows
remember
what
when
he
social
did.
security numbers were created. I'm bad at history.
He knows what he did.
Look, everyone knows what he did. He's not a good person.
Mm,
If you've learned anything about American history, it's that whatever you were told in elementary school was the most sanitized version of it. And if you stick around to
Yeah.
college, you find out that everyone was a bastard all the
Yeah.
time.
yeah,
Speaking of
yeah,
bastards, if you're listening to this and you're in America, make sure you vote.
yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do
Shouldn't
it,
be
coward.
bullying you. Vote once. Make sure you vote correctly. And I don't just mean in terms of like candidates, like look up whatever the rules are for your area, because if you're in my state, you have to bring an ID now, and you didn't have to do that in the past. So make sure
Ooh.
you don't get screwed out of your vote.
Vote while you still can.
Uh,
Yeah. Vote like your country's risking a giant spirit Halloween banner next year. So anyway,
Oh.
speaking of things not going as planned, who remembers the month ago when we played last and what you were doing?
I literally just listened to the episode today during work, and now
Well,
I'm just like, shit.
I
last
remember the
time,
tail end, yeah. Ooh, ooh,
last
ooh.
time we played, let's see. Anise woke up with a hangover. No wait, was that 123? That was
I don't know.
Like 123 was the first episode after you
Oh,
got back.
Oh, right.
no, 123 was I think we picked up, or 124 was we picked up with
Right, yeah.
um
Ennis went to hang out with Aidin while he stayed up waiting on. No, that was
no,
123. 124 was.
I'm pretty sure the start of that was when approximately Year and Nina came back.
I think
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And
that
They
no,
was
came,
wait,
that was
they
the
came back at
very
the end of the one,
yeah,
and then
yeah. They came back at
Oh,
the end of
123.
123, and that conversation continued into 124,
Yes.
which is why it's a little
123
yeah,
confusing.
ended with Nina saying that the butcher doesn't have a dick, and 124 started like that.
yeah.
We had a lot of conversation over breakfast, continued breakfast. I found out that Hemlock has been eating the curse ghosts off of the Rheingold cursed coins this whole time. Yay. And Morgan remembers Hemlock being bigger, or maybe not, I'm not sure. Hemlock and Morgan knew each other back during Camelot. We did more strategy. We determined that we were just going to go to Residuum.
mm-hmm.
Diana and Penelope teleported.
Nope.
No?
There was a whole letter writing situation.
Right. Well, why don't you summarize that then?
Hey, I wrote a bunch of letters. My mom helped me.
Via mirror.
Via mirror. And I got a CVS receipt with nothing but hearts on it. But it's basically like, hey guys, the butcher fucking sucks. Help us. But in a much more eloquent version. Yeah.
Oh, you got permission for one nasty.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that, but you
I
know
got
that.
a coupon valid for one free nasty from mom and dad. And they were like, yeah, you get one free nasty now that you are married to Johnny. And Johnny has taken it and put it in her pocket. Yeah, so letters went out. Aiden got a letter. Annis got a letter. I assume other masters in the Grail War who are not the Butcher and masters who are not allied with the Butcher. Those, yeah, the ones that are not with the Butcher in any way, shape, or
Yeah,
form.
I believe your criteria were that they were not allies of the Butcher, but would be at least willing to entertain the idea of an alliance.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Yeah.
you put the caveat of would be willing to entertain it because you didn't want it to go to anyone who wouldn't, and then just tip your hand about something. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
how I remembered it.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, and then after the letters, oh god. I know Aidin and you and Nina had a nice little family moment in the chapel.
Right, yeah, you got
Yeah,
that
I was gonna
pendant.
say, like, why don't we let Aidin tell that part?
Aiden was distraught about the Nina situation, and he was very much at his tipping point of anger, and he was worried that uh people would judge him if, he goes a little ham on punching with the butcher, and he doesn't want to scare people because people already are like the fair liars, and centaurs are, these aggressive, vicious, people. And his mom was like, look, like, if you don't revel in this, no one's going to judge you. Kick his ass, and gave him a sun pendant. And then Nina was like, yeah, by the way, his body isn't right. Like, it's rebelling against him. It seems like they don't, like, his body doesn't want to stay attached. He's like really light. Like, he seems like he's not walking proper. Like, something's pulling his strings. So Aiden's like, interesting. And then he told Nora, he was like, hey, just bring him back. He already let uh Alder know that they're gonna be on the way, so like Kilthak and him can watch over them. And yeah, he went back out to give the information about, the butcher's body. That was his part.
Then we teleported to Residuum.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Joking.
And then Penelope had a whole conversation with two different people in the same body, if you want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Talked to Lucretia, and then Lucretia went all like switchy poo on me, and like I got to talk to the ruler and be like, hey, this is what I meant by that letter. Please don't, set me on fire or anything.
Don't break my contract.
I was gonna make a contract. It was just hard to. Words
Oh
are
no.
hard.
Yeah.
And then oh god. TLDR, she's got a command spell that will let her summon the ruler at one time.
Yay.
Own a friend. So yeah, I guess now she technically is the ruler's field assistant. She was joking, but that's what she gets, I
I mean,
guess.
she was working for Lucretia before to help enable
Yeah.
an outcome. The rulers just decided that that means you also work for them.
Yay.
Yeah.
What could happen? Also, just for your reference, I've added an item to your inventory with the words that you copied into the chat before for the wording of your
Oh,
invite.
good,
Just so
good,
you
good.
have that.
Thank you.
After that, we all very unsuccessfully tried to find a hotel and found a Motel 9.
Yeah, I fucking forgot about both.
And then
Motel 9 won't forget about you. It will never forget about you.
after determining that for some reason would be where we met, Anise encouraged the guys to go with Aidin for some sort of positive male role model, male bonding exercise.
It's
Aidin wanted
Wednesday.
to find a jewelry store and did not find a jewelry store at all. Anise, Penelope, Diana, the girls went to try and find information and found the Temple of Eldath instead.
As you do.
And that's where we ended.
Yeah, for context, Aidin set off with Derek and with Freddie and with
And
Fuck.
Buck.
with Buck and with Anon, and they rolled very badly on finding what they were looking for, and
Because you're made me, bro.
and they ended up in like the bad part of town with essentially all of the ones a little bit more savvy than Aidin running interference, and all of the con artists and scammers trying to convince Aidin to buy things. Meanwhile, the rest of the group rolled really well on their attempt at finding information and found the Temple of Eldath with a fish person. Let me get you the picture of the fish person.
Man, I'm so
Yay.
jealous.
All right, let me find that image again.
It's like, we don't know why, Aidin, but we met this fish man, and it seems like you'd really like this fish man.
Point
We
the
don't
way.
know how we're getting that impression.
Point the way.
All right.
No! Please! I do what I want!
So many pictures. Which one were you? Which one did I share before?
I've just come to the conclusion that Aidin is directionally challenged. Even though I have a fucking +4 in like survival.
Yeah, it's
Oh, but
because
no,
you
it's
only roll
investigation.
like you roll crazy good on like the checks you're not supposed to pass.
It's the
Yeah.
Arcana. All of it goes into the fucking Arcana.
All right. I think it was this guy. Tell me if this is the right picture that I showed you before.
I was not looking at the stream.
Yep,
at
that's
the
it.
board.
Yeah, that was
I
him,
think
right?
That's
Shit,
it.
look at he is fucking sparkling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
Sure is.
probably him.
Fabulous.
Cool.
Amazing. 10 out of 10, no notes.
I thought that was him, but it wasn't showing it as shared, so I started second guessing myself.
Oh
But
no,
it's
that's
just because there's like 4 versions of him because they put that picture in like 4 books. So it's like,
Beautiful.
oh, it was a
love
different
it.
one. Yeah. But as I recall, Aidin, you did not actually get anywhere yet as of the end of the last
Nope.
session. You're just wandering
Nope.
around. Cool.
I got 3 guys surrounding me like the fucking Secret Service.
There's a bit of a
Okay.
get down, Mr. President vibe to it, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Unfortunately, you're bigger than all of them. So
Meanwhile, you've got all
it's
these
like the
people in
Jason
trench
Momoa
coats
meme.
Oh no.
Like the
coming
one
at you.
that picture of him walking around with his bodyguards who were smaller than him. That people
Beautiful.
refer to as like you want to be so built that someday your bodyguards look like mini bosses people have to fight before they can fight you. Like that's kind of where you're at right now. Except your bodyguards are like a comic book hero and like a vampire knight and a rogue, a warrior, and a whatever. Like, have fun. You got a posse.
There we go. The image in all its glory.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You just have the most shady people trying to sell you very real DVDs and Rolexes. We swear.
Oh man, it's the Titanic. Oh cut.
Wait,
Yeah.
why does it say the Titanic? Wait, what
It's
is
Titanic
that?
on Betamax, a thing that could never have existed, but it's here.
Not the Betamax.
Like it's just on
We
a
are
format that
indeed
was dead before the movie came out.
Beautiful. I'm gonna buy it. I'll be like, I got this for Penelope.
Okay,
She's just
so
like,
I'm going to give you the option as a group to decide which group do you want to pick up with first, because we're going to be doing these things simultaneously, but I'm happy to go in either one.
I do not want to stay where I am long, damn it.
Yeah, why don't we just pick up with Aidin and the boys? I'll go
Okay.
ahead and mute.
All right. So, it's been more than a month of real time. Would you like to make a new investigation check to see what you find in the
Please.
bad part of town?
I beg. Oh god, it's still a negative. Can I guidance myself?
Sure, you got time. You're not concentrating on anything else, right?
No, I see I got lost and I'm like, this isn't good. Let me try this again. Okay, it's not as bad. It's not as bad.
Much better.
18! 18!
Okay,
He's
so
like swiveling around.
how are you getting information about where you're going? Like, are you asking people? Are you like, what are you doing?
I'm like, I feel like he's looking for like jewelry store signs and maybe asking the lesser shady people that like he's like, hey,
Okay, so looking around you in this like kind of slummy area, which is
he's like,
unlikely to
I'm in the
have
wrong place.
like it's unlikely to have legitimate jewelry stores, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have them.
I don't think he wants to be in this area if it because he's looking for something that is like it's gonna be a little more expensive.
Uh-huh.
And he wants to find a proper jeweler, like an actual jeweler.
Okay. So in that case, you're looking for directions to another part of town,
Yeah, he's
which is
no,
totally fair.
he-
So like looking around, you can kind of tell due to the structure of the city, like you're in the slums. The slums are not as tall and well built as the fancy part of town. So using your ability to walk up walls, at one point you get to the high ground and look until you can see the area that looks like it has more value to it. And you find it. You can
God.
see an area that seems to be much better. Specifically from the structure of things, Aidin knows enough about how towns and cities work, even with his limited experience of London, to understand one area looks like it's probably more commerce driven, another one looks like it's more residential, and a third one looks like it's more the like um, social gathering area between the rich and the poor. Um,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so you're probably looking for commerce. So
I want I want shops because I mean, like, yeah, like Annis has that whole area like where the shop is. I would recognize that zone.
uh So, okay. Without too much trouble, you can see which direction you want to go in now.
I
And
can cross down the wall. He's like, sorry, not that I don't think this place is cool. Just the wrong place at the wrong time, but it'll be a right time later. And he's just like, oh, playing at
I
the
mean, I
guy
guess if you want
looking
to
at.
buy things the boring and legitimate way, that's fair. I'm just telling you, that guy over there with 4 arms, 2 of them are covered in watches.
I don't know how to read watches. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye. And he just grabs the guys. We gotta get out of here. Just the right
Okay,
spot.
they nod, and you cross through town. You do not have any muggings or anything occurring on account of you're a relatively big lot, and you're a horseman. And they know that horseman has no pockets. So,
Max.
um, so yeah, you're crossing through. As you leave the more slummy area, you do notice that the air goes from the smell of questionable, don't want to think about it, to the smell of more perfumes and street vendors and like food and nicer
Mhm.
smells in general. Like it's not perfect, but it's much better. Um, the area that you move into smells kind of more like a fair or festival. Like there are people selling food on the streets, trying to grab people passing by. Rather than people running up and trying to pitch you stuff, they're giving you some space, but it gives you a chance to actually see that there's a pretzel vendor, there's someone selling popcorn, there's some of that cotton candy you are sort of familiar with now. Um, it looks like you're coming in during a festival of some kind. But also, this area's got nice shops all over. There's shops that are devoted for clothing. There's shops that seem to be, more specialty foods and gifts and souvenirs from all over this weird world.
Hmm.
And as you continue looking for a bit, you do eventually see a very large building with fancy shiny things in the window. And there's a sign on the building that you can read because it is in or,
Hey.
common or English or whatever we're using as the stand-in for that. We all know what we're about. And it is called the Eccentric Emporium.
I haven't turned to the rest of the party. Okay. I know it's a little late to bring this up. Do any of you have coinage
Uh,
or things to trade?
Anon shakes his head.
Looks over to Buck specifically.
I mean, I'm sure I could get something if you give me 5 minutes. I haven't exactly built up the local coin yet, but if you want, I could be back in like 10 minutes.
You know what? I won't say no.
Okay.
Like
And with that, Buck somehow disappears in plain sight.
he's just like like Aidin is like full belief that he's gonna like start like doing entertainment and busker on the road.
You know he's
Unfortunately, he's
probably going to be taking stuff, right?
wait. He's gonna steal?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I made a grave mistake.
I mean, maybe he's stealing, maybe he's just, flirting with someone
It,
who has too many coins. I have no
I
idea what his
really
deal is.
maybe if he asks a lot of like drinks, he just they give him the money for drinks and he comes back with that.
Oh, you mean like he's a professional beggar or something?
Yeah.
At this
Think
point,
he'd pull
Freddy is
off.
just holding the bridge of his nose, and he says, maybe you should find out how much whatever you're looking for cost
Oh,
before
I
he
know
fleeces
exactly
too
how much
much.
it'll cost. That's not the issue.
Okay.
We kind of need at least on exactly. I think it's sorry, me the person. I have
Yeah.
to remember if it's per pair or if it's individual really quick. I think it's pair altogether.
If it's something that
Nope,
functions as
it's
a
each.
pair. Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks. Okay.
I need like 200 worth minimum. If he wants in, it'll be like 300.
What are you buying?
So like how Anise is, and he look like now that we're not talk a little
Sorry, you cut
freely
out for
now.
a second.
Oh
Now that we're not what?
shit! Hold on, what's that? There we go. Now now that we're not in a shady area, Aiden kind of is like more freely talking to them.
Uh-huh.
All right, look, both of you know how Anise is really stressed and worried about y'all's safety, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, seeing as it's my job to make sure Anise is safe, physically and more so emotionally, um, I have taken it to my hands to make sure that I can get something to help keep y'all safe. So, we're initiating you on Hula Hoop Wednesday a little early. It is a
What?
Tuesday. It'll be okay. We'll hang out. We'll get a guy time bonding. Look, we're going through a war together. I don't hate you. I was just you could have sent her a letter. She cares about you both, and I would like to be friends with you too. So we're
Okay.
getting rings. Hey.
Uh, rings like jewelry rings like this place, or is
Yes.
it still about the hula hoops?
No, like actual rings.
Oh,
So I can
okay.
protect you. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, that I can understand.
Yeah.
All right,
I
got
think
it.
I correct me if I'm wrong. You're able to do what I can do in that aspect, right?
I
You kind of
can,
ward somebody.
I mean, I can protect people if they're close to me.
Yeah.
That's part of my
Yeah,
deal.
I like, if I got some rings, I can put some magic into them and you get hurt less.
You,
Ta-da!
right, you want something that can be enchanted. Okay.
Yes. But
That I
I
understand.
enchant it.
Okay. And you know how to do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Mhm,
Well,
mhm.
in that case, while Buck is probably cheating an heiress out of her ill-gotten fortune, we can go find the things you're looking for.
Cool. So you up for some hula hoop bonding later?
I still don't know what that means.
He pulls out the hula hoop. Eh? To be fair, it is made of vines. Eh?
I think I'm gonna go inside and see what they have in terms of jewelry.
Gotcha. I will follow. Hey, Derek, we're gonna have to crack this tough nut.
Are
We
we?
gotta be in look, okay, real talk, we gotta be in sync. We got a dude to fight.
You know that NSYNC is a thing, right?
No, what's that?
All right. And when you get back, I want you to ask Penelope to tell you about NSYNC.
Okay, I got you. I can
She'll be
definitely
able to
do that.
tell you all about them.
Okay. I got this. I will remember this.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's
Let
let's let's follow in. Yeah.
let's go find some bling.
Yeah.
Okay. So the shop is open. Walking inside, it is a very nice change of pace from the place where you were earlier, where everything was sketch. This is much nicer, like it's got a proper carpet. There are glass cases throughout displaying all sorts of jewelry. You've got pendants, you've got earrings, you have normal finger rings, brooches, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You also can tell just from looking around the room that some of the things in this room have a little glow to them that is probably unusual. Um, so it kind of reminds you of seeing some of the fancy stuff that was on display in Van-Fem's boat. Um, Presumably, some of these things are important to someone somewhere. Um,
Oh, these are like catalyst levels of important.
or at the very least, they have a glow to them. Like they're not just
Okay.
mundane rings. Like there are plenty of mundane rings too, but the ones that are like in the fancier display cases seem to be a little more than just pretty rock in pretty setting and pretty band of metal. Um,
Uh,
but there's a lot, and they also have lots of expensive price tags on them. Thankfully, your estimate on
These are
price was
basic.
pretty good for non-currently enchanted rings.
Yeah.
So that's more in scope. One thing that you also notice is that the staff at this place are all well dressed and fancy looking. This feels very. I don't know if Aidin's actually seen much of fancy clothing. I guess you saw a little
No.
bit of it when
I mean,
there's like,
these people's fancy clothing, but nothing like outside of that.
yeah. So here's an
The
example
ceremony.
of some of the people that are walking around, and they're different from people you've seen before.
Whoa.
They also have interesting lower bodies
Hells yeah.
and upper bodies.
Hells
Yep.
yeah.
This place seems to be staffed by Minotaur,
I love it here.
like, or at least a race of them, not specifically the Minotaur Asterios, but like a race of them. So another half human, half creature hybrid. In this case, they're bulls, and they're wearing
Woo.
really fancy outfits. And one such um, Minotaur person sees a lot of you walk in, and after giving you a moment to look around, he walks up to you and he says to you in a very deep voice, "Hello and welcome to the Eccentric Emporium. How can I help you?"
Yes, I am just looking for some, two sets of rings. Just no enchantments. Just some rings.
Is it for your own enchanting, or is this more for aesthetic?
Yes, for my own enchanting.
Excellent. I trust you are practiced in the process
Hmm.
because we do
Hmm.
have courses.
Oh no, I am set. Eldath teaches me all of her ways.
Follower of Eldath, we do business with your people. That is excellent. Come right over here and I'll show you the selection that is popular with the Church of Eldath.
Ooh, healing wonders on over. Say no
There's,
more.
yeah, there's a section of rings, and you can see that there's actually a series of rings under the display case that, like, each row seems to correspond to different deities in the same pantheon as Eldath. But her row contains a number of rings that include her symbol or water imagery or other things that you would pretty easily associate with her. Like someone else might just think it's pretty, but you can actually make
Yeah.
out what's going on.
Just to be respectful to, like, the other guys, because Aiden's not gonna push, like, her symbol onto them,
Mhm.
but for, like, the protections, he would get the water imagery, and that way it's, like, to those who don't know, yeah, it's inconspicuous,
Right.
but also Penelope would also be like, "Fuck yeah, water bitches!" It'd be like, "Water rigs!" So, we gotta
Water
get secret.
bitches.
Water tribe out, yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
like he
those
has.
ones.
Do you need them to be made of any particular material for your enchantment?
Ah, this is gonna sound very they have to be of a minimal quality, but uh, I've walked into here and I feel like your quality is just honestly amazing, so that shouldn't even be an issue.
We do our best.
They
As
are.
you talk to him more, the gruffer voice that he initially had is sort of giving way to a more refined voice, making you think that perhaps that initial thing was simply playing into what people expect out of a Minotaur, and his actual voice is a bit more up.
Ah. Yeah, he pays no mind. He's just like, "Ah, yeah, that's a good guy and some good rings." Yeah, I need 4 altogether.
Ah, excellent, good. We'd be happy to help you with this. Would you like a
You
gift
help.
bag?
Oh, no, we're gonna put them on immediately. If you could just help size their, their fingers, mine, that'd be great. It should also get Buck some time.
Oh, of course, we can do that. 1 second,
Excellent.
I will get the tools. And he steps away for a moment. Looking around the room, you can see Derek seems to be eyeing the pretty mundane rings that have nice stones on them.
I didn't wanders on over. You thinking about getting one?
I've seen a
Eyebrow
lot of
waggle.
rings, but it's nice to see the quality of what they have here. Like I'm not an expert on it, but
They're
I
very pretty.
I can tell that they're at least well, I don't know if they're fake or not. Like honestly, it's a bit non-traditional, but I kind of prefer the lab stuff. Um, just on account of in the at least in our world, a lot of the stuff that isn't lab grown has probably got a history, and I'm not a big fan of that. But
He looks at you confused, but he nods.
yeah, don't worry about it here. I'm sure that most of the things that find their way down here probably were lost somewhere up there anyway, so it's effectively a giant used market.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, you can tell they're crafted with care.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like if you take a look at this one, and he points at one of the ones under the glass, and he instructs you to tilt your head a little bit to look at it.
Tilt.
Um, you can make out that there's some kind of engraving on the inside of it. I'm sure that they could probably like fill in that spot for the new owners, but I'm always curious as to who had these things before.
Is it like what language is it in, or can I recognize it?
Um, it's it's some kind of cursive script of common, but
Oh
you
yeah, no,
don't.
I didn't.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know if I can read cursive.
no, he can't. He learned how to read print, and that was it. He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
to you
what
it looks like
language is
fancy
this?
Elvish writing, even though it's actually common. But
Yeah, he's just like it's teehee. So yeah, like Aidin lets this guy like grab his stuff, take sizings. If he figured that gives some time to like Buck to get, stuff done, Aidin's willing to see what he's got to barter as well if there's not enough.
yeah,
Um,
so he comes back
but
with like it looks like a key ring with a bunch of smaller rings on it, and also he has a series of related tools just to cycle through them to try different sizes. And which finger will you be wearing yours on?
uh I don't know. I've got like 10 of them.
That's a good number.
I gotta put them on 2 at least.
Well, traditionally, this one points to one of your fingers would be
Uh-huh.
for when you're married to someone. So if this is not a
Are we
marriage band, you probably don't want it on that finger.
Nah. Okay.
And this one points to the same finger on the other hand. It's typically what's used for someone's ring from an institution of education. But it could also be used for other rings. That one's less formal. Really, that first one was the only one that seems pretty universally understood.
Aiden just turns around. Hey, we're smart, right?
Who is he asking that question of?
Derek and Freddie.
Derek responds, I mean, we know a lot.
Yeah, okay, we should
And
put on the
Freddie
smart people
responds,
finger.
you should probably just get it for your middle finger. That way you
Okay.
can show it off to people.
Oh, yeah, on both of them. Anise would be so excited to see this. Yeah, he's like, and he just puts up both middle fingers. Yeah, these ones.
The Minotaur nods politely and takes the measurement of your middle fingers. As you're doing that, you hear the door open and Buck walks in, smug, and he sees you showing off your middle fingers to this Minotaur. And then he walks over. He's like, "So is the deal that bad?"
Oh, no. We're getting them on these fingers. Okay.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah, I understand now. You're getting sized. Understood.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
What's our and he like whispers into books. What's our coinage look like right now?
How much did you need?
Do you want rings too?
What are we doing with them?
Being protected.
I am a fan of protection. It's way
Then
better than the
300.
consequences.
Yeah.
300? Hold on 1 second. And he pulls out a very nice purse that you've never seen him have before. And he starts rummaging through it.
Aiden starts sweating.
And then he produces a stack of coins and sets them on the glass counter. All right,
Okay, I
that
need
should
a
be
third
enough.
ring. Could you size him? I don't have a third middle finger. Where do we put this for you?
To me?
Yeah, like your finger, you'll have a middle finger, but I don't have a third middle finger.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, no one's perfect, but sure. He just holds out his hand, his right hand, and gets his middle finger sized, and he's looking over at the others, like, I mean, whatever. And so he gets sized as well.
Yeah. All right.
So to
He
make
just
sure I'm
puts out
understanding this
like
correctly, we have both of Aiden's middle fingers and one of Buck's
and
middle
another random
fingers.
finger.
Okay, and
You
that's
know
what you're
what?
sizing off of.
I'll do the middle finger and then the education finger on the right hand because we'll be like, yeah, that's the team plotting, team smart people.
He is happy to set you up with that. He measures
Excellent.
out. All right, so ignore the label on it, but this is what the rings look like, because I'm just grabbing pretty rings. So, uh,
Yo,
so
that's a
it is
pretty ass
not a ring
ring.
of water walking, but it is a pretty picture. They've taken away my ability to share images without it giving away what they are, and that really annoys me. I'm sure
Oh
there's a
no.
setting for it that I just don't know, but whatever the case, that is
Actually,
what it
hear me
looks
out.
like.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Buck and Idens are on their thumbs, so they can thumbs up at people.
Okay, I mean, he's gonna go with whatever you ask him to.
How do you feel about that? You want to do that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'll do whatever. Like
Or do you
looking
want to
at
keep it
his
on team?
hands, he's wearing like 4 rings already, and his thumb is free,
Oh
so he
my
shrugs.
god. Okay. That works for me. Yeah.
All right, so you
He's not gonna think about how he got that fucking bag right now. Like he's just sweating on the side.
Yeah.
Really hope it was with flirting. So yeah,
While the Minotaur is helping you out, he also says that I haven't actually seen you around town before. Are you new here?
oh yeah, I'm not from here.
Have you done business with any of the Emporium branches?
Not at all. This is my first stop.
Oh, well, in that case, you strike me as the adventurous type if you're doing your own enchanting. Um,
Eh,
I'm sure you've been here long enough to be familiar with the storms that leave strange things around, yes?
I haven't encountered one yet, but I've heard about them.
Well, should you encounter one and see anything noteworthy,
Mhm.
feel free to report it back to us. We do pay top coin for good finds. And if you're not interested in coin, we also have a barter system in case you're interested in any of our other wares. But
Ooh.
typically when a storm occurs, it will drop items in. And if you wish to be the one who reports them back, then we'll find things, and based on what we can retrieve, we can set aside something for you at the next time you visit one of the Emporium locations. We're in most major cities.
That sounds that sounds solid. Speaking of, since you were a jeweler store, because it's been so long, you don't happen to like have, oh, I don't know, some diamonds that I can like. I have diamonds, but you know when you have like too big of a diamond and you need smaller diamonds?
You're referring to when you're cutting a diamond down for the purposes of spell components, and presumably have an interest in the dust as well.
I mean, if they happen to be uncut and smaller, that'd be cool. But yeah, if they're well, no, if they're cut too, that like I need some smaller diamonds.
Well, we're certainly interested in exchanges as long as you're comfortable with the the items that we have for trade are less aesthetically pleasing because they're typically not used for stones, such as these rings. They're used more for spells that consume them. So if you don't mind the aesthetics, I'm certain we can come out with some sort of trade arrangement.
Yeah, as long yeah, if the ones that are yeah, these ones I feel like probably should be in jewelry, and I don't want them to get hurt.
You would hate to see them wasted, essentially.
Yeah, I know somebody who would be really upset about it too. They're also a jeweler.
Ah, of course. Yes, it is very painful for us when someone finds themselves in a pinch and they're forced to use the finely crafted stones that we've placed in their jewelry to cast a spell of some sort, and just the stone is lost to everything. It takes so long to
I
make them.
Yeah. I really wanted to give this to him, but uh what's going on in the area right now?
What's going on in this area?
It's so like, overall dreams. You know about how like, oh, I don't know, like there's a holy grail war about to happen. By about to it's officially started.
Oh, you're referring to the contest. Yes, we've been instructed to stay out of that. The
Yeah.
the leadership of the city has been quite clear that we are not to get involved.
Yeah, so I have a feeling he's been a menace in this area well before that. I take it you know somebody by the name of the Butcher?
That's certainly a title. I assume that the person you're referring to earned that by doing something either amazing or via his culinary skills.
No, no, more like slaughtering our kind and then, sticking
Ah,
them
one
onto
of
his body.
those. Right. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Those are
so,
problematic.
yeah, you see, I'm gonna take care of that problem, but I have to be prepared. And as much as I would like to give this to my friend who feels the same, and I know would treasure it just like you, I am in need of, diamonds that would not cross that line.
I understand you're looking to make sure that the wonderful stone that you possess does not get used in such a way, and you would be interested in exchanging it for stones that are a bit more expendable and ensuring that the one that you're providing with us gets a proper setting and a proper adornment so that it can be admired for centuries to come.
Yeah. Now, my other question is, I have a like it's he pulls out like the diamond. This was from Camelot,
Oh,
and
interesting.
it's worth a certain like he knows the amount it's worth from what he kind of picked up off of it. He's like,
Yeah.
I have this, but I need a little bit more of smaller diamonds. I don't know if you take dust as well for trade for enchantments, since you seem to also do them as well. If there's a way that I could just convert that with this, I would be very thankful.
Okay. Give us a persuasion check, and we will see how open to like essentially a one-to-one trade without any kind of markup this person would be.
Please, 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 please. Holy shit! Holy
Nice.
shit! Oh,
Very nice. Good one to roll well on. He smiles at you. I greatly appreciate your respect for the craft and for the people who do this. If you have a friend in this trade who values these stones, I am confident that you understand what we go through to make these
he
things
just nods
eternal.
his head. Yeah, he's
So
already struggling giving this up to this guy. So yeah, he
we
nods.
we will make sure that it is well taken care of. We would not simply break down a stone of Camelot. So if you wish to exchange it, simply let us know what you need, and we will find equivalent value in the form that is more suited for your personal requirements. So
He
TLDR,
looks.
you can now convert it into combinations of diamond and diamond dust of equivalent gold value. So,
Yeah, I need because that's 550,
mhm.
and I will convert enough. So 250 of the dust to get me 9. No, is that 800? Hold on, 550. So 350 would make 900, right? Yeah.
350.
Yeah, 350 of the dust.
So from your inventory that I'm
Right.
looking at right
There we
now,
go. I
um,
just changed it.
oh, you changed it. Okay, I'm like the numbers are
Yep.
already changing. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So
And then I will,
add
because
equivalent
it
value.
was 2 diamonds that were worth that, so I will mark that as 0 now. It's just okay. And then I changed the dust. Cool, 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 cool.
All right, so you've updated your inventory to essentially move the gold value to other stones.
Yeah, actually, I'll just update where it says diamonds, and I'll put like 3, and then put the trade value that I just did.
Okay, and because you're converting, if you want to change the value of the diamonds,
Yeah,
you could do that because obviously you don't get any change when you cast a spell.
yeah. So
But yeah,
I've
essentially
converted
you made a
that.
good impression on this guy. You rolled well. He understands that you respect his profession. When you're in Residuum in the future, you can use that as an opportunity to exchange
Fuck yes.
stone for stone at equivalent value. So
Fuck yes. Okay. He shakes the guy's head. I don't think he got his name. He's like, I'm so
he
sorry.
didn't,
That's
but
so polite of me.
when you start speaking, like he informs you that his name is Sir Charles Loyne. Yeah, we're doing that here.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Yep. Oh yeah, get used to
Beautiful.
it. We're doing food puns.
Wow. Okay.
He,
Sir Charles
he may be
and
friends with Aldente. You don't know.
Ruler. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's pretty much all that he would need. He get that set. He just looks at the guys. Is like, what do you got there? I don't know if the ranks have been made yet.
Yeah, he's going to get them set up
Okay.
now while you like he wanted to handle the stone exchange first because that's still business, but um he says it won't take long to get rings properly sized for you. You get the impression that this world has enough mana floating around that someone can actually just cast like stone shape or steel shape to get this done pretty instantaneously while you wait and
Yay.
also verify that it fits properly.
Yeah,
Like,
while they're waiting, Aiden's gonna have like one more small conversation with the guys since we're just inside the shop now, and the
yeah,
dude obviously like knows. All right, look, let me know. But we're gonna need to be hitting hard with as much divine energy as possible. Looks over to Freddy. That I don't think is gonna be an issue for you. Not an issue for me. Looks back over to Derek and Buck. We can probably, hear me out. Are you able to help imbue that energy in people? And he looks to Freddy.
looking over to, so you're asking Freddy this question.
Yes, because he's a
Okay.
paladin.
Are you asking if I can help other people channel divine wrath to hurt someone?
Yes.
Uh, to an extent, but that's not really my specialty. Part of the problem with me being me is that when I do things, uh, a lot of magecraft gets wonky in my proximity, so I've usually am not trying to play assistance from afar, but I have some limited ability to do that.
If
I think
you
this is
are
maybe more
able.
your thing than mine.
Well, so here's the problem. It requires a lot of concentration, and I have a lot of concentrating I need to do on another spell as well. And normally I noticed you don't use that often, and you just, you smack when you need to, so I wasn't sure if you'd have the free concentration to, like, help boost some friends or
You're asking
anything.
if I'm focused enough to do something else while I'm doing what I'm already doing.
Yes. Yes.
I see. Yeah, candidly, when I have worked with others at the church, I tend to spread a blessing, um, which is not quite what I think you're talking about, because everyone that I work with at the church has the ability to do their own divinely focused damage, what with our keys. So it's not exactly
Oh,
my area of expertise, but I
I
do make
looks
it easier for
over it.
people who can hit to hit better.
Ah, I know that one.
Yeah.
We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. I was gonna say if we can get Freddy's hands a little divine, that
Freddy's hands.
or not Freddy's hands. If we can get Derek's hands a little divine,
I
I'm
don't think
talking
you
to
have to
Freddy.
worry
Yeah,
about that based on the way that he was fighting earlier. I think he's probably got that covered.
looks over to Derek. Derek, you have divine hands,
What?
like Grass's hands. Divine. Okay. Excellent. Say no more. All right. You're going to punch her really well. I believe in you. We got this.
When you grab his hands, you see the chain that he has wrapped around one of his wrists, and it
Oh,
twinkles a
yeah.
little bit.
Oh. Am I picking up what this chain is putting down?
No one knows.
Religion check on the chain?
If you want to.
Eh. Why didn't
Is
that
it just sitting there? It
cleric
is.
just
It's
say,
sat there forever on the one. I mean, they're chains. You don't like chains are a common imagery item in a lot of religions. Um, as it turns
chill?
out, casting aside chains and escaping your bonds is a very popular message to give to the majority
You
of
know,
people in history.
that's fair. You know what? Aidin's like, we're set. Finger guns. And he goes, they're gonna be so proud of us. If that's said, it's just like Aidin's like, all right, we know what we gotta do. We're gonna kick ass divinely. We got our rings. Let's see if we could, I guess, start heading back.
Okay, so you're gonna head back to
He,
the Motel 9?
yeah, he's gonna thank Sir Charles Lloyd and let him
Yep.
know that he'll see him in the future.
He smiles at you and he actually hands you um a few sheets of paper, and he tells you, if you ever find yourself in proximity to such a storm and you would like to get our attention, simply fold a paper airplane and throw it from that location, and it will tell us when it gets to us where you were and what you found.
Hells yeah. Okay. Do you want to put that in the inventory? I
I
don't know
will
what to
do
put
so.
that. Fuck yes. New friend. All right, I'm done. I swear.
Mini game unlocked. All right. And I'm just going to say that you have 5 of those. Enjoy. It's paper. It has no weight.
Yeah.
You can fold it into an airplane. You can fold it into a crane. You can fold it into a frog. Whatever you fold it into, it's going to find its way there. So enjoy your origami adventure.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Switcheroo.
Meanwhile, in the Temple of Eldath, Residuum
Oh,
branch.
hello.
Hi. How's everybody doing over there?
Good.
Getting that religion on?
I'm cuddling a cat. I don't know how this religion looks upon cats, but
You
yeah,
can ask your cleric how it looks upon cats.
I'm good.
Fair
Love them.
enough.
Cats everywhere.
But anyway,
Haha.
yeah. So here we are in the Eldath Temple.
Yep, you're in the Eldath Temple. Uh, when you walked in before, you met a big fish man who greeted
Yeah.
you and welcomed you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink something before I do his voice. And as a recap, the people that are in this party consist of Anise, Penelope, Johnny. I believe you took Morgan,
Yeah.
Yep.
Diana,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hemlock.
Cersei should be there too. I don't
Yep.
know if she's visible, but
She's following you around, but she's not visible. But she is around. Although, because I did find that picture handy, this is what she looks like when she is visible, because she's still got that going on.
For a second, it didn't load. I was like, oh my God, she's invisible when she's not invisible.
So very invisible.
The
Now
most
I found where it
invisible.
was sharing pictures. Okay, they moved it. But anyway, also, yeah, this is the symbol that's floating around that you know what it is. So,
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, walking. I'm just gonna recap from when you walked in. Like the temple that you found is sitting atop a large pool of water. It seems to be floating on the water somehow. Like the water's not super deep. You'd wager it's maybe a foot, but it's enough to make it interesting that this building seems to be floating on it. You get to it by walking across a series of stepping stones. You walk under a symbol at the entrance of it that is per the picture I've shared there. When you go inside, the temple is absolutely filled with fountains, with water imagery, beautiful greens mixed in. There are uh, statues of a woman. The woman has beautiful features. You're not shocked. She looks kind of similar to your lady. Not the same, but similar. Um, and yeah, she's you see engravings written throughout the place. Mother of the Waters, the Mother Guardian of Groves, um, the sound of water flowing, which makes sense because water is flowing all around you. It's a very peaceful place to visit. It You're familiar with some of this imagery because of what Bird Mom did to her little church back in your base, but this is a much less thrown together with limited resources. This is way more grand. This is great, way more fancy. Um, and yeah, there's a fishman who's the only person here right now, and he sees all of you walking in, and he like sets down whatever it was he was messing with before. It looked like a scroll, and he opens his arms wide, and he says across the room, "Oh boy, welcome to the Grand Church of Eldath, the Cathedral for the Green Mother. I'm so happy to meet all of you. Welcome, come on in, get your feet wet."
Um, well, I've already done that today, so it's all good. Um, but thank you for the nice welcome.
All are welcome as long as they have peace in their hearts here in the Grand Temple of Eldath. Tell me, friends, what brings you to these peaceful waters today?
So what doesn't bring us here, honestly? Uh,
Anise is just taking in the scenery, not saying anything, letting Penelope and or Diana take point.
Penelope just looks at Diana and she's like, "Do we tell him?"
As you're standing
No.
there, you notice that the floor seems to have about an inch of water, and realize that the two of you are standing on top of it.
Oh yeah.
So you're already standing out a little bit versus the people around you. Also, like, yeah, like Morgan is also standing on top of the water, but
Yeah.
you know.
So I assume Annis is the only person just
Johnny.
Annis
Annis
and
and Johnny
Johnny are just sort of standing in the water. They don't seem, well, I can't speak for Annis, but Johnny doesn't seem bothered by it. She seems to be used to getting wet at this point, what with all the water
Yeah.
travel.
Oh no.
Anise is just kind of like, this might as well happen.
That's why we have boots.
Yep.
The emotes. Diana just looks at Penelope like, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna let you take this one. Have at, little trainee. Did you just call me little? Oh fuck. Okay, I'm going to regret that later. And then Penelope's just like, so yeah, we kind of know about Eldath. We have a cleric who isn't here, unfortunately, because God, he would love to see this. Um,
You have a cleric
but
of Eldath?
yeah,
Oh, glorious. Tell me, how many legs does he have?
4.
That is the correct number for the prophecy that we are waiting on.
What the fuck?
Prophecy?
Hold on. Okay, hold on. You can't say prophecy around me and not tell me what you mean by that.
Oh,
It's a rule.
it's
Yeah, it's a rule she has. You can't say the word prophecy around her without her just freaking out a little bit.
oh well, it's not an old prophecy. It's a fairly recent one actually. I was checking in with, our wonderful Green Lady of Peace recently prior to an excursion of sorts by the many clerics of Eldath from this temple to recover our unfortunately greatly besieged by the horrible tree monster um, temple up north. And In the process, I was going to go myself, but I asked Lady Eldath whether or not I should be participating, and she told me in her own special way that I needed to be here for when her four-legged cleric arrived to provide proper direction for what must come next. So I thought I'd be here for a while, but this is actually very fortuitous.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know when he's going to make his way here because
Uh,
he apparently
Eldath's
decided.
waters will no doubt guide him if he's this close already. Cut to the other
Oh,
side of town. Aidin, you're lost on your walk back.
I had a feeling I'd be lost.
Cutting back to this.
yeah, buddy, you might want to wait. Just I don't know how long to tell you to wait.
I'm
Um,
prepared to wait as long as I must. My lady has given me direction, and I will follow it. Though I do
huh.
hope for the sake of my fellow clerics that it will not be too long, as they are definitely in need of assistance.
So you said they're basically up in the Einosh forest.
Oh, you're familiar with the problem. Yes,
Yeah.
the
Amelia. Yes, very.
yes, the horrible blood trees have been spreading across this continent at alarming paces, and honestly, the divine waters of Eldath have been the only thing holding them back in the part of the country that they've taken so far. And I can't say for sure how they understand this, but it seems that once the tree realized we were its limiting factor, it started striking out at our temples on the waters throughout the region. And I'm afraid that the temple to the east has already fallen. The temple to the north is holding out as best it can, but I've not received word from them in some time.
Hmm.
Who wants a map?
Map!
Yay!
Unless it crashes Fantasy Grounds.
I hope it doesn't. Theoretically, this is a map you've already got, but I hope it
Yeah.
doesn't. Boop. Map incoming. Bam.
It's
Okay.
invisible.
Because it always is until Merlin decides to share.
Damn it, Merlin.
That's why we can't have nice things.
How about now?
Yeah, I've got it.
Hold please. I have it, but it. Ugh,
You want me to
Merlin is
sync up
being.
the size?
Hold up. I hit a button and then it was like, you don't get that. Okay. We're good. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually just creates a bit of an illusion for you to demonstrate the area. So you get a little on-screen HUD. So he points out to you, I'm just going to put some symbols on here,
Mm.
that this area, this right here was one of our greater towers, but unfortunately the trees,
Mm.
in order to spread closer and closer, seem to have
Mm.
somehow taken it to pieces, and recent
Oh, okay.
fires.
Okay.
What I think Tower of
Okay.
Babel.
Sorry, it just showed up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That tower unfortunately fell to ruin some time ago, but our other our other temple up here, doo, 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 there you go.
Ah.
That one remained strong, but as you can see from this imagery, shows you in his illusion pretty much what you see on the screen. The trees are closing in on it more directly. It seems that while our clerics were unable to protect the closer of our locations because they were caught off guard by the minions of the trees, um, once they took that down, they started moving to the west, as presumably they've realized now that they have a limited growth potential as long as we are keeping the not quite holy, but in many ways still holy waters of Eldath throughout the area. I'm afraid that we keep the trees bound between the two rivers, and once they've successfully taken out both of these temples, they will no doubt spread across the land.
Well, that's not great.
No, it is not. We are doing what we can to fight it off. We are not the most numerous of churches, but we do have dozens of clerics defending the north. And what I've been told is that the four-legged cleric from a far-off land of Eldath would be traveling with company capable of helping us either defend the temple to the north or perhaps do something to restore the temple to the south, or I guess the northeast of here.
Well, we do have some experience fighting these trees, most of us.
That is good to
Yeah.
hear. They've unfortunately already taken several towns, as you can see from, again, this visual aid. But we have held them back to the best of our ability.
Hmm.
So, do you have any advice for what has worked best for you? As far
Well, what we found is that getting too close is dangerous because the trees themselves will actually exude toxic spores and pollens.
Yeah.
Um, and the parent tree itself, like the actual tree Einosh, seems to be on the move. It,
Oh, good.
we at times thought that we were making progress through areas that it had bled deep, and then the tree itself would appear, and there were no survivors. We
Yeah,
only
it
know
moved.
what happened via message that got out before it was all destroyed. Perhaps the most troubling thing that we've learned among a series of horrors is that the closer you get to the actual parent tree, the harder it is to use mana.
That tracks.
Spells become practically impossible if you're in its proximity.
Yep. Yep, that tracks. The bitch moves across ley lines, it drains them of their mana, it can probably drain the mana out of just the general atmosphere, so magic, yeah, doesn't work particularly well against it, from what we've gathered from fighting its stupid children.
But you say you've brought them down before?
We have.
We've managed to kill some, but we found that typically killing one brings the parent. So it's been very much a hit and run tactic to prevent them from growing too quickly. Um, we've also taken on the unfortunate task of actually destroying trees in its path to prevent it from spreading and gaining additional mana. It's the deforestation is not a comfortable act. It goes against a lot of what we believe in, but we've been forced into a corner, unfortunately. We are hoping for a more peaceful solution, but there's really no peace to
Oh,
be found with it.
nope. Nope, not with that bitch.
It is not a diplomatic monster.
Nope. Sure isn't.
the only diplomacy that Einosh understands is fire in his face.
Grenades.
And by face, I mean tree branches.
For what it's worth, we've
I'm not good at trees.
we've been gathering some information about them, and it does appear that at least some other adventurers have attempted to find and destroy the source tree. Um, it it grows a fruit that is of great import to many a well, many a mage, many a phantasmal. Um, I don't know how true these stories are, but it's said that whoever consumes the fruit will gain the mana of everything that the tree and its children have gathered.
Yeah,
Um,
that tracks too.
which quite honestly, is more than I can imagine using, but I'm not exactly that kind of mage. I get all of my power from Eldath, praise be unto the Mother of Waters.
Well, we do have some experience fighting them, like I said. I don't know if we're going to be able to take out an entire forest, but Einosh is certainly one of our priorities. He's a problem. Bitch tree is a big problem for us. So I guess we will bring your cleric here
That
when
would
we
be
find
most
him,
appreciated if you could.
and then we'll figure things out from there. So, what do you know about these other adventurers that have tried venturing into the forest? Were they human
Oh, all sorts of
mages?
things. My understanding is that we've we've heard tale of everything from human mages who've wandered in from, more recent and ancient eras to fairies looking to prolong their lifespan to uh, vampire dead apostles looking to escape the curse on their bodies that requires them to absorb mana. I'm not sure how reliable it is, as no one has ever actually achieved this fruit, but a lot of people seem to think it makes miracles happen, so long as the miracle requires a gratuitous quantity of mana. Um, I've also heard tale from some people who would be adventurers that um, the actual tree, while it rests here, most of the time, every so often will disappear from this land to sneak into the world above, I suppose you could call it, the one of the surfaces textures of the world, and that there it will wreak havoc for a time before retreating back to here. So presumably people on your side may have, well, your side meaning the side that they come from, because I don't actually know that you're from another side. I don't know you that well, but
You're not wrong.
exposition. Um, but yeah, the stories that we hear say that the trees occasionally leave and come back, and also that it seeds spread throughout as children that are very dangerous.
That they are.
My understanding is that not only clerics, but many a paladin, many a druid has done what they could, but it seems like a losing battle. We are personally afraid of losing the continent to it. The leadership of the city claim that they could handle it if it gets close enough, but they don't seem to be taking any action immediately, which makes me honestly quite dubious.
I think they don't know what they're up against, and they're overestimating their abilities.
That's quite
I've never met
possible.
them. I don't have any idea what they're capable of, but I think they're underestimating Einosh.
They're quite powerful, but it's difficult to compare. They their power by story. I have not actually seen them use their power.
Well, this works out because Einosh was one of the many things that we came here to take care of, so we've got some allies in the fight, I guess. That's good.
Yeah. We can go and help we can go help them. I don't think that, well,
We're gonna have to deal with Einosh at some point during our expedition here,
oh, I
no matter
know.
what.
I know.
For what it's worth, the last person that I saw referring to it was actually this kind of scrawny kid with glasses.
Describe
yeah,
this
describe
person, please.
kind of
Oh,
a twerp.
I I mean, a lot of things are small to me, but
Did he give you a name?
I didn't get a name, but hold on. And he starts to cast a different kind of spell to do a different illusion. I wonder what it looks like. Let's all be confused and then act surprised when we see it. Oh, look.
Oh my god, it's that bitch Clever Mandrake.
Lagas. How long ago was this?
Oh, he was here perhaps a week or two back. Shortly
Wait,
before the attack began on the Northern Temple, actually.
what?
Does time move differently here? How is that possible?
Have you seen him before?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
But
should be a statue
underground.
right now.
That would be an interesting trick. Between you and me, I don't really know what to say about him other than that he has a very cold handshake and a very stern look on his face when you point that out.
Yeah, that tracks too.
Yeah, we need to go find Aidin.
Oh no.
How? Hang on. No. He said he contacted Grandpap, and Grandpap confirms the statue is still there. How is this possible?
Does time move differently down here or something?
Are you asking that to him?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to answer that question. By comparison to where?
The
surface texture that you were mentioning, where tree sometimes goes. That's where we're
Oh,
from.
time is all convoluted down here. By comparison to there, see, people come and go at different times. The most noteworthy thing is that people, once they get here, they don't really age. Presumably, things could just stick around for almost forever in this place, but as far as I'm aware, without going up and down, based on the people who've appeared here, they seem to appear at the same intervals to what they consider real life, like anyone who arrived 10 years ago, who met someone who arrived 20 years ago, seemed to take about 10 years between them. So I assume it moves at the same rate, but not that kind of philosopher.
This is probably a better question for your boss, to Penelope.
Yeah.
She would know. Or, well, Morgan might, but Morgan's also been asleep.
My concept of time is a bit dubious on account of being asleep. It's true.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Sorry to talk about you like you're not here.
Yeah, no, she's stuck. She's stuck with me for a hot minute.
This is troubling. Thank you for the information. I don't think we got your name.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was very rude of me. Yes. My name is Kakavia, which I will type for you. It's not a pun. It's just an actual name.
I love it.
Or you could Google it and find out if it's a joke. It's up to you. They're all jokes.
Fish. Eldath. Is he a cleric? We don't actually know, do we?
No, he's a cleric.
Okay.
He introduced himself as one.
Okay.
I love autocorrect on my phone.
Macho man.
I tried to type fish priest of Eldath. Mr. Kakavia is now the fish pretty of Elijah.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
good.
Thanks.
I just needed to share that with the group.
All right, Kakavia, stay right here. It's not like you're gonna go anywhere anyway. We're going to
I'll
go
be here
find...
until the four-legged, until the four-legged child of Eldath arrives. Don't worry.
We're gonna go find Aidin and bring him here. as soon as we can. Thank
I
you
greatly
for this
appreciate your
very troubling
assistance.
information. It is not stressing me out in the slightest. Anise is shaking.
It's
Anise has gripped like part of her dress or something.
Diana just comes over and puts a hand on Anis's shoulder. She's like,
I'm extremely calm right now, and I am not panicking in the slightest. This is fine. This is great. I'm so glad to have something to focus on that is not my own personal troubles.
that was awkward. Okay, and Diana just removes her hand again. We didn't introduce ourselves either. We've just had this entire conversation.
That's fair.
Well then, since nobody else wants to step forward, I guess I will. And also, I apparently am stuck in Diana voice for a second. So, hello, and she holds her hand out to Kakavia.
Pleasure to meet you. He shakes your hand. Much warmer than the last guy. Appreciate it. I was afraid that I was just getting a bit clammy myself.
Oh no! Trust me, I'm
Getting kicked out of
yeah,
fantasy grounds.
I'm getting kicked out of fantasy grounds.
It happens to the best
No,
of us.
it's I don't know why this keeps happening. But yes, so my name is Diana. And I am an emissary of Nimue.
Ah, yes, a wonderful, wonderful woman, friend of Our Lady.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, she's quite lovely. Um, she's just like,
What do you like the most about her?
oh, I
Anna
her
steps up.
her eyes. I mean, what?
Anna steps up. Annis Greenleaf, druid, extremely tired. Shakes his hand.
Pleasure to meet you.
Penelope does not reach out to shake his hand because she's still trying to like hide her hands in her pockets. She says, "I'm sorry, I injured my hand earlier, so I can't shake hands."
It is totally understood. He bows politely.
But yeah, and
Or
she does
way to
a
be
curtsy with
inside.
one hand. She's like, "My name is Penelope, and I'm an emissary of Vivian." And,
Ah,
Okay, yeah, I don't. That's. Well, when you got injured, are you okay?
yeah, I'm fine. I just on my way out of the church, I accidentally smacked my hand. It's fine.
Oh well, as long as you're
It's
okay.
just, it's like, actually, ironically enough, it's just a really nasty bruise.
Oh.
I'm pointing to an actual bruise on my actual hand, which happened because I accidentally smacked it on the door on the way out of work the other day.
method acting.
Well, as long
Woohoo!
as you're okay.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But oh no, I lost my train of thought. Oh shit.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm Penelope, and well, I know I just said I'm an emissary of Vivian, but I'm kind of, of all three. Kind of, sort of.
Morgan nods her head to him from across the room. I'm one of the three. I'm Morgan. He stares at her confused for a second. Yep, I get that a lot. Don't worry about it. Okay, of course. A pleasure to meet you, Lady of the Lake. He bows. She nods. And then
Um,
Johnny like pipes in from the I'm Johnny. Nice to meet you. I'm from the land of Georgia, not the country. Shakes a hand. And he's that's a fascinating distant land you come from. Please enjoy your stay here. And she steps back.
Penelope just takes her free hand and just holds Johnny's hand.
Hemlock flies over, nods at him. He nods back at Hemlock. They have an understanding.
But yeah, it's nice to meet you. We'll bring Aidin back. Aidin's your four-legged friend. When I say that, it sounds like he's a dog, but he's not a dog.
Not right now.
He's a horseman.
That is reassuring. I wasn't actually sure what to expect.
It's none of us are ever sure what to expect.
Personally, I half expected a bear. I half expected a sphinx.
That's fair, I guess. But yeah. So we'll be back with him. And I'm so sorry. Sorry. I've got a lot on my mind right now.
No, it's totally understandable. I'm sure we've all got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
It's a busy world.
Did I mention I've met Eldath?
You did not, but
Yeah.
I like to think that we all meet her every time we greet a beautiful morning dew.
No, I mean like I talked to her.
Oh, interesting. I was not aware you were a follower.
I'm not.
Oh, well, then you are truly graced.
Yeah, she was nice.
That she is.
Didn't really say anything, but she's very nice.
She has a beautiful voice. If you ever get a chance to hear it, I think you'll agree. Meanwhile, across town, Aidin feels ripped off.
My horseman senses are tingling.
What do you mean everyone else gets to just talk to her?
I feel like I should be asking something, and I don't know what it is I should be asking.
Well, we're going to come back later with Aidin, so
Yeah.
if you think of it on the way to or from, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, here's a good question. Is there anywhere to stay around here that's decent?
There's an entire district of upscale hotels if you wish to stay in one of those. You're, of course, welcome to stay at the temple if you wish as well. I mean, it's a little damp for most taste. Like, I obviously enjoy it, but I'm certain we could get you some kind of air mattress.
I will. I appreciate the offer. But Diana here in maintenance.
Wow.
And so we'll have to get an actual bed for her. Hey. And but I'm sure Aidin would want to stay maybe.
I'm sure he will.
But yeah, so how do we get to the hotels?
He pulls up a city map that I'm not going to show you because I don't have that handy, and he gives you directions for where you can find nicer hotels than the Motel 9.
Which we've already
Oh my
paid
god,
for.
thank you. No, I can get a refund, don't worry. Like, don't you worry about that.
Roll to Karen.
I'm gonna roll to Karen.
Oh my.
You're not very good at Karen.
No, I'm not. I'm not good at Karen, but I'm good at caring.
Haha.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll see you in a bit. And Penelope just like immediately turns and starts walking out because she's like, I'm feeling awkward right now.
Oh, Anise is definitely like right behind her.
Okay. All right, so you've successfully left the temple,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming you're going back to the 9 since that's where you're supposed to meet the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then this is a good time for our little break, and then
Hooray!
you can compare notes and see what people want to do when we get back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, if you're watching on the recording or the stream, I'm going to put up the little away message and mute things. We'll be back shortly.
Woo!
I'm going to suggest
Yep, you're back. You're at the Motel 9.
Ah!
No, Anise actually, the instant they're out of the church, she's like, Hemlock, fly up high, find Aidin for me.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely lost.
Or any of the guys. They might have gotten separated. Just she looks over to Penelope and Diana. I'm going to look through Hemlock's eyes. Who wants to hold my hand? Derek's not here.
Diana just runs up.
Oh,
hi.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why I used Penelope's voice to say hi, but here.
Just don't let me walk into things.
Oh, trust
I
me,
suppose.
I won't.
Hemlock vision, looking around for centaurs. Aidin specifically, but any centaurs really.
Any
Yeah.
centaurs on roofs right now?
Give me a Hemlock perception check.
Oh.
You can just roll a d20 if you don't feel like digging it out.
No, I found it. Perception. He's got a big book.
Yeah.
Deceptive.
Let Hemlock go. Oh my god! Holy
right.
shit!
Found Aidin! I might have found every centaur.
Yeah, so there's a lot of centaurs in this town. There's like at least 10. Some of them are out shopping, with their Trader Joe's bags. Just casually. Some of them seem to be enjoying some kind of sport that you don't understand, but it involves horse people, so flexibility. There are definitely a few of them that are apparently doing like actual work in the area that, as it turns out, Aidin saw before. Like they're running food stands and stuff, just not one that he saw. And yeah, hey, look, there's Aidin with all of the others walking through a confusing alley. He seems to be going by Peachtree Street, at the corner of Peachtree Street and Peachtree Street.
Atlanta.
Apparently
Exactly
something was
what I
lost
thought.
in Atlanta at some point, and they decided to carry it on down here. But yeah, Hemlock totally finds Aidin. And Aidin is walking pretty smugly, showing off his brand new rings to everyone and offending all of them.
What? Wait!
He's flipping them off. We've established this.
Not random people. He's just gonna show Penelope and Anise how proud he is.
All right. Well, there are
That's fair.
surprising number of centaurs here in Residuum. I found them. They are that way, and Anise just starts leading
And
Diana
Aidin hasn't seen any of them. He is
in
somehow
the direction
invisible.
of Aidin.
Tell me more. Oh shit, I forgot. What the fuck was that accent?
As a reminder, I cannot see or hear anything. I can feel that you're not letting me run straight into a building, I hope, Diana.
No. Damn it, you can't hear me! I can't tell you that he can't.
Like
She does this a lot.
Through Hemlock, she can see where Diana is leading her, yeah.
Yeah, with
Like-
Hemlock, you get to play third person.
Hemlock, she's like on like this. We've got our arms locked. I'm demonstrating how this is going.
Audio medium.
Yeah, I know.
As
That's
you
what,
do.
like, I need to audio.
So, all right, is this a roll, or can we say that I do manage to lead the party?
You're rolling
through
on the
Hemlock?
Hemlock 20. You're good. You know where you're
Okay.
going. Yeah, you have no issue closing the gap, and much easier time finding them than they had of finding their way back.
Aidin
You
in
end
the
up
distance to the guys.
you come
Why is
across
it-
them as they're going down a street that seems to be lined with food vendors on the sides. Hemlock
any of the
is
centaurs-
distracted.
Oh, Hemlock. Are any of the food vendors the centaurs you mentioned?
No, they're different streets.
Hemlock. Okay. Well, I think we're close enough. And she comes out of Hemlock.
Diana's still just like,
Oh, thank you.
you're welcome. I can keep
No, I
holding on
think
if you need to.
they're just a little bit further ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Here,
Okay,
let's-
okay. Sorry. Am I making this awkward? I'm making this awkward. I'm so sorry. Oh, and she just like lets go of Anis's hand and is just like, definitely making this awkward. I'm so sorry.
As she passes whatever food stand Hemlock is eating from, slide some of the no longer cursed gold. Sorry about him. He's a glutton.
Oh, it's no trouble at all, says the weird duck person.
I'll unpack that later. She's just making a beeline for Aidin in the group.
You find them. Hey, Aidin, look,
Derek.
it's your friends.
Derek, why is everything named Peach? Why is everything Peach Tree? I'm so lost.
You have to
Is
ask
Johnny
Johnny.
on that
I
group?
don't understand it either.
I hear Johnny. I just like.
That was Derek.
He said ask Johnny. Okay. I thought Johnny. Okay. I will. Wait,
Anise
is
is
this...
just booking it. Like, Aidin, we have a problem. We have a problem. We have a problem. We have a problem.
There's a problem. What's wrong?
That bitch Clover is here.
No, he's a statue.
No, he's here. I don't know how.
At least a week ago.
Good news. We found you a temple for your lady and a cleric. The bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news. We need to take you there immediately so he can tell you the bad news, because I don't know that I will be able to articulate the bad news.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is where I wanted to come out of character really quick. Correct me if I am wrong. The fairies of the lake did in fact say that time does flow differently here. That's why if Aidin were to stay here long enough, he would not be able to go to the material plane. Like that we did actually get
No,
told.
that was
That's what I
the
remember.
reverse side.
Huh?
That was the reverse side.
So
No.
like what you need to understand is that I'm just going to tell you meta because I don't remember how you learned this at this point. It's been so long.
I'm pretty sure it was because it was the Diana situation. How like she could live over here, but she could not. Like neither her nor me, if we stayed there, could go back to the material because we would just.
So the world here
completely-
is chronologically synced up with the other world. 10 minutes here is 10 minutes there. The difference is while you are here, you are not aging. But if you go back, it's like opening the Tama Tobacco. All of your age will come at one time. So if you're here for a little while, you're fine. If you're here for 200 years, you shouldn't go back.
Okay. Then I misunderstood
then-
when that was described.
Things and people from different time periods show up here, not necessarily at the time that they should. In those like weird fog things, if I remember correctly.
Things show up in those weird storms that disappeared from the world above at some point. This is where they fall when they fall. In terms of like when those things came from, that seems to be a little bit more variable. For the most part, as you understand it, it seems to happen in linear order, but as this is fate, there are always exceptions following rules that have not been articulated to you yet. But for the most part, it happens in order. Like if something appears right now, it probably came from the world above right now. Not always. There are exceptions, but most of the time that's the case.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember that conversation, but if that was articulated in that way, then it's like, that is a problem, because statue was definitely still there.
Yeah. We just need to take you to the temple, and the lovely fish man priest can explain better than we can. Einosh is a problem. We knew Einosh was a problem. He's a bigger problem than we thought.
Oh. Okay. Well, glad we made that pit stop. You like our rings? And he just puts up his middle fingers and his thumb.
Why are you flipping us off? What did we do to you?
Anise turns to Buck. This is your fault, isn't it?
No, I didn't do that. I mean, I helped him pay for the rings, but I'm not responsible for that.
You're not. You're not responsible. Okay, I can put those down. That is
really Freddie
rude
said that they would like that spot.
No. That is a really rude gesture up top side. I don't know down here if it is or not, but don't do that. Just don't stick your middle finger up. It means
Freddie, you told me this would be a good spot.
I mean, you just told me a few minutes before that you were still mad at me for a lot of things, so
I said I wanted to be your friend.
You threatened me with a hula hoop.
That wasn't a threat.
What?
That was Hula Hoop Wednesday.
It's Tuesday.
Now I'm gonna offend people when I show them our cool rings. And he's just like, all right, just take the lead.
Just don't put the middle finger up by itself. If you do like just if you want to show off the rings, just don't put any fingers down. Put all 5 up.
Just show them off like this, and Penelope holds up the hand she's got her ring on.
That doesn't have the command seal on it, or the not command seal.
No, because the command seal's on the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, this is how you do it.
Oh, okay.
Look. And she's like holding it up so Aidin can look.
Ooh.
And it's just like turns to Freddy and goes, you know what, never mind. Follow me. Let's just go back to the temple.
As they're going back, hey, Penelope, what is NSYNC? He's an emphasis on the N, right? NSYNC?
Like the boy band?
Oh, that's why.
Who told you about NSYNC?
Was it Derek or was
it? It was Derek.
It was Derek. We'll play it over to Derek. Yeah, Derek said you would know about the NSYNC. Because we got to be in sync.
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
I realize that now that I've said that out loud, that is not a reference I would make as someone who lives in England. But I've spent time in the States, and I've spent time around Johnny, so it counts.
Yeah.
And a star and then sync. They have that bye 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 song that gets played over here a lot.
Yeah.
Well, not over here. In topside. In Britain, not here. Maybe here. As she's just walking. She's not even checking to make sure people are keeping pace with her. She is just walking.
Aidin is following her.
Penelope's gonna turn and look at Derek and Freddy and be like, what the fuck did you guys do?
Derek and Freddy sigh, and then Buck chimes in. I mean, I only left him alone for a few minutes. I don't know how he learned all these things.
No, I'm not talking about Aidin. I don't even question half the stuff Aidin learns at this point. What did you two do specifically? Because Anise is acting really fucking weird.
We don't have time to get into it.
You're running ahead like 500 feet. You know my legs are short.
I'm not running ahead.
My legs are short,
that's
bitch.
fair, that's fair.
Yeah, she's like,
you should ask her. It's her story to tell.
I've been asking her. She won't say anything.
Then she doesn't want you to know.
Fucking question.
That's hers to decide. If she doesn't want you to know, I'm not going to be the person who tells you. And then Derek disappears into a shadow and appears near Anise. And continues walking.
She looks at Freddy.
I can't do the shadow thing. I'm just going to walk normally.
Okay, well, because you're not like actively dodging the question, at least not via shadow, Derek. You officially are like 5 points cooler in my book.
I will make note of that for the future.
You better. Right now.
Oh, yeah, so we found this really shady part of town I think all of you would really like. They seem to be like, they had a lot of stuff. If you go, he tries to point like one direction.
Why would you think we would enjoy this shady part of town?
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you get a lot of stuff there you need. Just not jewelry.
I left you alone with the guys for like half an hour. What the heck?
I got lost. Everything's named Peachtree. Johnny, why is everything named Peachtree?
Because there is no God.
There is. Well, I mean, there's the goddess, but, you know.
Yeah, we're going to a temple.
Yeah!
Oh boy. Okay. Well, at least you got your rings that you were looking for.
Yeah.
We got
Oh, and I got some
information.
paper.
What?
I got some paper.
Paper?
You know, if any of those storms happen, we can let the shopkeeper know, and then we can trade and get more like valuable stuff.
What are we
I made a
trading?
friend. You know, if any
You're
like
back. We're up at the
Oh,
front.
yep.
Huh. At the jewelry shop?
yeah.
I mean, Diana might be walking alongside Anna.
Oh yeah, Diana, they have got a lot. Oh, Diana. Okay, so they have a lot of jewelry that has kind of like a glow. Honestly, it felt like it was really important. Like honestly, close enough that it felt like I could be very wrong, but it felt very eerily similar to like catalysts. Just important jewelry. I think you would like them.
Just because it's jewelry or because it's important?
I feel like both.
Uh,
They're very fashionable.
I mean, and she's just like looking at all the jewelry she's wearing. I don't know where you'd get the impression that I like jewelry. Where is this shop again?
This is the one place he kind of actually remembers. Like he'll like point out a direction on because he's got the little handmade map, and he's like, it's here.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a commerce area.
Okay, I will have to go check this out later, I suppose.
Later, yeah. Oh, well, there are more centaurs here in the city. There were some that were at food stalls running them. There were some that were playing some kind of sport. There were some that were working. Yeah, so there are other centaurs here. If I don't think we're going to have the time for you to go meet them, unfortunately. You'll understand when we get back to the
Yeah, you
temple.
mentioned a temple. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Temple of Eldath. Oh wait, no wait. Sorry. That was supposed to be my Diana voice. God damn it.
Yeah, that happens when you have too many characters.
Uh-huh. But yes, it was the Temple of Eldath.
His eyes like fucking widen.
It was nice. There was a lot of water. There was a fish man that was the priest. That's pretty much all that was there. But from what I understand,
He told us
yeah.
about a prophecy that a
Oh,
four-legged
don't
temple.
don't even worry about prophecy. Don't even say the word prophecy.
Okay.
Oh.
The fishman said that he was waiting at the behest of Eldath for a four-legged cleric to arrive, and we're pretty sure that's you.
I have 4 legs.
You sure do, buddy. You sure do.
Yeah, it's from what he was saying, Eldath told him to wait for you because you'd be here. So
Everyone
We're
else
friends.
is fighting. I not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask about that.
mhm.
Answers that question.
Are we there yet?
I mean, whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to
Are we
cut
at
you
the,
off. Like you weren't that far away.
okay, but are we at the temple or are we at the Motel 9?
No, we're going to the temple. Or Anise is going back to the temple.
I'm assuming you're going to the temple, in which case you're almost there. Like you can see it in the distance.
Yeah. Penelope is just like offhand. I'm gonna
Go get the
consider
one.
that a donation to the Motel 9 so they can get their sign fixed or something.
Clean up that room.
I'm pretty sure those carpets weren't that color of gray originally. Anyway, there's the temple. It's nice and pretty. There's lots of water there. I finally caught up. Derek's an asshole.
No.
Anise
You
is just
okay?
still going.
I just watches in confusion.
Derek respects people's privacy.
Penelope looks at Freddie and just like gestures at Annis like, you see what she's doing? You see what she's doing?
Do you want to have a chat outside the temple while the fish priest catches Aidin up, Penelope?
Yes,
Okay.
because I need you to talk to me.
Okay.
This whole running from me bullshit, not cool.
Not just you. We can have a chat while the fish priest and Aidin talk about Eldath and Wada and
I love those things.
all of the shit.
Okay.
Hooray. All right, you get to the temple.
We split the party again.
Yeah! Have that 1v1 gal pal time.
Yeah, you guys do yours
Oh,
first because I have a feeling
Yeah.
that first of all,
Emotion.
I didn't story-wise, we're gonna say you get all the information caught up.
Yeah.
We can role play like the parts that you want to role play, but info dump wise, you get the same information that they just got. Just to save
Yeah.
doing that twice. But so you guys are outside. Talk away. Enjoy.
Okay, so
Just gonna look around, make sure there's no one else around.
no one's here except me. What the fuck is going on?
Okay, well, I am in love with both Derek and Freddie,
Oh,
and
okay.
what my future self told me scared me so badly that I told them both. And they didn't. Well, Derek, being a champ, Freddie just kind of went, "Oh, I think I need to figure myself out before I can do anything else," and just walked away. That was last night. Jesus. Not even religious.
So
I don't know. I don't know. I'm afraid I have fucked it up with both of them.
I mean, trust me, that's not true. Just okay, look. I wouldn't be too mad at Freddie. I know it's easy.
I'm not
But
being mad at him. I'm
I
trying
mean,
not to.
if you think about it from his perspective, he really does kind of have to figure shit out. And it's not just because he's got the whole weird half dead apostle situation happening, but like
contributing factor.
he's been through a lot.
I
And
know.
he's been through a lot trying to keep you safe and keep you out of basically the shit he's gotten pulled into, and he's had no way to tell you any of that until recently. And the fact that he still had feelings for you after all that time, only to be confronted with the fact that you also like this other guy who you just met, it's got to be a lot on his. It's got to be a lot on him.
And I don't know what I was expecting telling them both, but I didn't want to
I mean,
tell them individually. And I'm
look,
not I can't choose. I
okay,
can't.
that's okay. That's okay. Like, it's probably for the best that you told them both rather than bottle it up and then regret things like 20 years down the road, or like
2 days down the
2
road
da
when the butcher tracks us down and his servant kills us all.
that kind of pessimism
I know.
is gonna lose the fucking Grail
Yes,
War,
no,
and
I'm a boss ass bitch, and
you're
I'm
a
going
boss ass
to.
bitch.
We're
What have I
going.
told you?
We're going to beat the butcher up very badly and his stupid servant, and we're also going to destroy Einosh and stupid fucking Clover, and we're gonna win this Grail War.
Yeah, we're gonna
Gonna
win this.
happen.
We're gonna win this Grail War.
Just your boss?
Which boss?
That's fair.
Do you know how many
Future
I've got at
me.
this point?
No, I don't actually.
We can
Future
unpack
me.
that in a minute.
Future me, air quotes, told me a lot of stuff that scared me a lot. And I know that was the point. It was
Yeah.
the point was to show us the worst possible timeline. We've already done things to fix it. I needed to get it out before anything bad happened. Now I don't know what to do. And I know I'm not mad at Freddie. I'm kind of regressed to back when I was a teenager. Whenever we had a fight, I would just do this. I'd give him the cold shoulder. But I don't know what to do.
Well, I don't think there's anything you can do right now.
And this is just not even the point. I shouldn't be like, we've got bigger fish to fry
Yeah,
than my stupid problems.
but your problems aren't stupid though, because like once we get out of here, they're gonna matter a lot more.
Fair.
And frankly, this is gonna sound kind of bad, and I apologize in advance. But like, it kind of gives the boys something to fight for. They're like, we've got to keep defending Anise. We got to keep protecting Anise because she loves us.
But I don't want it to be a contest.
It's not going to be a contest. They're going to work together, and then by the time we get to the end of this, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, you're so cool," and then Derek's going to be like, "Oh my God, you're so cool," and then they'll kiss, and then there will be a threesome.
What?
Okay, I might have been reading too many.
She's like bright red. I don't think that's how that's going to work.
It's called fan fiction, or just look it up. Don't worry about it.
Like that Merlin book?
Yeah. Except like less Merlin.
I should hope so.
And more you, Derek, and Freddie. And more. She's gonna just reach up and take Anis's hand. It's gonna be okay.
Okay.
I don't know how this is gonna end for you, but don't let it ruin the Grail War for you. Don't let it ruin your life. She's just like tugging on Anis's arm. She's like, don't let it ruin your life.
Hold on, I need to roll. Because you took both hands. You took my hand with both hands.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't notice.
Yeah, she's like, just don't let it ruin your life.
This is like when you were not hiding that you were a
She's
warlock.
like pulling Anise closer.
Oh, okay.
She's like face to face, and she's like, all right, do we see eye to eye on this now?
Yes, because you have literally dragged me down here.
I'm going to slap you.
Ah, please don't.
Slap.
Ah.
She's like, are you better now?
Yes, at the very least, you're not worried about me and trying to bully the boys into telling you what happened. And
look,
I will
always worry.
You and Aidin and my servant all know what happened. So
yeah, I will always worry, and I will still bully Freddie and Derek because that's what I do.
It's what you do. It's
Are you all still here? Because it got quiet.
Are you going to let your romance situation make it worse for you? No.
No. Yes.
Say it with me. No.
No.
All right. What's gonna happen? You're not gonna let it get to you.
I'm not.
You're not.
We're gonna beat up Einosh.
We're gonna beat
the butcher.
Fuck out of Einosh. We're gonna just decimate the butcher.
Yeah.
You're a boss ass bitch. You can do this.
Sure.
Wow.
Fantasy Grounds crashed on me.
Fantasy Grounds crashed on you because it my internet blipped for a second there.
Oh.
So
But it didn't crash for you. What? It didn't crash for.
Well, it was my internet, not any of the platforms. My actual connection just went out for a second. So
love that.
in the middle of your thing, it got awkwardly quiet for like 10 seconds, and then it came back in at the height of your pep thing, so I didn't want to cut it off. But yeah, suffice it to say, you got back in time for Boss Ass Bitch. So
okay, well, as long as Boss Ass Bitch made it in there, that's the important part.
It did.
So you're not gonna let this get to you.
It's clearly Anis's origin.
Clearly.
Oh my God.
We've awakened your origin of Boss Ass Bitch.
Fuck yeah.
It's installing update.
It's installing an update?
Yeah, Fantasy Grounds installed some updates.
Did they roll out an update while we were playing?
I think they did.
God.
Let me see if I can join the campaign.
Hopefully. I mean, if not, like, we're not exactly on maps and combat, so I think you'll
Yeah,
be
we'll be
okay if you
I
can't
am
get back.
I am a wolf ass bitch druid.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I'm going to just ignore that. That's yep, I'm just
It's
gonna
fine.
ignore that. Yep.
Yep. Now don't suppress it, because that leads to worse problems. Don't do it, Anise.
How am I supposed to okay.
Look, just for now, pretend it doesn't bother you. And then eventually you will get to the point where it doesn't actually bother you, because you've got too much other shit to focus on.
Right.
That is way more important.
Right.
And as morbid as it is, we may get to the end of the Grail War and the choice will be made for you.
I'd rather
So
that.
I would not worry about that right now.
Yeah, I've
Because
got
it's a
I've got
good
other
thing.
things to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you told them both, because now they know. And if the worst happens, then they'll at least know that you cared for them and wouldn't wonder, oh, is she falling for like this brooding vampire guy? Oh no. Or like, oh my god, is she in love with Batman wannabe? No. Love of both of them.
Kind of seems like you're a little more on Team Freddy there.
I did tell him earlier he got 5 more cool points than Derek, because Derek ran away like a little bitch.
Derek was respecting my
Derek ran away. Freddie also didn't tell me what was going on, but at least he
Good.
didn't run away. Just saying. But I'm not on either of their teams.
Uh-huh.
I don't care.
That's fair. I do believe that.
I do not care.
Right.
So,
Okay. Wonder how they're doing inside. Transition.
wait, before we go inside.
Okay.
Because I said I was going to unpack something a minute later.
Right.
Where I'm like, hey, do you know how many bosses I've got?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, like me, I'm my own boss.
Of course.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Wonderful. Then, there's Vivian.
Of course.
Yeah. Not really, Nimue. We didn't sign anything. And then of course there's Lucretia.
Right.
So it's Vivian and Lucretia.
Okay.
And then
3.
as of this morning, Morgan.
Okay.
And then as of when we went to the church, the ruler.
Does Anise know that the ruler and Lucretia are sharing a body? Because I genuinely
I'm
don't know
pretty
if I
sure
know.
that was
Yeah.
made clear
Yeah.
Okay.
when
Yeah,
the ruler
that's-
took over her body and gave her command seals to Aidin.
So how's that different from Lucretia?
She holds up her hand.
Is that a command seal?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a
No.
set? What?
Basically, it's kind of like phone a friend, where you're like, hey, shit's fucked.
Reaches
need
into her
help.
bag like,
Yeah, like if you're in a pinch and you're like, hey, I'm gonna call a friend in this situation.
but
Um,
phones don't work down here, so
yeah.
it's a
Kind of, yeah. So basically, if somebody is fucking around or doing something that would actually not make the grill war work right or the ritual work right, then I can call her in as backup, basically.
So, Einosh is a big problem.
Yeah, but he's not technically violating any of the rules.
Yet. The way they were talking, if they, if both temples fall, the whole continent will become Einosh Forest, and that's a big problem.
That is a big problem.
Because it is the biggest continent in Dream's End, and it's where presumably most of the masters are. I don't.
Fuck, I might have to go back to the church. I'm not gonna waste this. I only get one.
Right. I mean, we're right here. It's not that far.
But yeah, so I mean, this also kind of gives legitimacy to the letter I wrote earlier.
Oh, right. I guess you are the field agent now.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to wear gloves or something, but that's what actually happened to my hand. I didn't hurt it. I just didn't want to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah. Wow. I'm not very observant.
I love how that threw you off, but the part about Morgan didn't throw you off.
That seems. I'm honestly shocked you're not also working for Nimue.
Look, if I also worked for Nimue, I'd get exhausted.
That's.
Have you seen how she works, Diana? Well, I should not have said it that way. Oh my god, I was nasty. Shit.
Yeah, she does work pretty hard for Nimue, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Get out of here, George Decay.
I'm just bright red right now.
You are.
What I meant to say
well,
is, you see how we're hard,
Yes.
like Beach and them working.
It's true. Yes. I'm not surprised you have some sort of deal with Morgan. That seemed likely.
Yeah, I mean, she's been very nice, and she hasn't been like, hey, if you don't sign up with me, then I'm gonna fucking kill you or anything. I don't know how to continue that part of the conversation.
Thank you for
But yeah.
sharing. I will keep it secret if you need me to keep it a secret.
Just don't go blabbing about it. Both
Hey,
of those things.
everyone.
Oh my god. Like, I mean, if somebody's like, hey, is Penelope actually like the ruler's field assistant? You can be like, yeah. And you're not lying.
And if someone asks why you're suddenly wearing gloves, shut the fuck up. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I don't know why I'm going like, oh my god, I've got to find a pair of gloves because I can just do this. And she like snaps her hand or snaps her fingers, and like the emissary armor adjusts so that she has.
Man, that's cool.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
I'm jealous.
Diana can do it too, but I don't know that I've ever seen her actually wear her armor.
She does run around in high heels, even in battle.
Maybe she's always wearing her armor and I just didn't notice. I have questions.
I wonder how everyone's doing inside.
Yeah!
I wanted to let you finish. So yeah, Aidin, you're inside. You're talking to a fish man.
Yeah.
Fish man gave you an amazing greeting when you walked in.
Gasp. I didn't bows his head and returned. It's just like,
oh welcome, brother. Welcome to the Temple of Eldath. Let me give you a big ol' hug. And he walks over and he just gives you a big ol' hug.
Hugs returned. Aiden's here for it.
Oh, you have no idea how much I'm happy to see you, brother.
Oh, it's good to see you too.
Oh, I trust your friends let you know a little bit about the trouble we're in.
They mentioned Einosh and you saw Clover, which is like he should be a rock right now. I mean, I just
They did mention that he's
that.
supposed to be a statue. He was very cold to the touch, but he was not a statue when I saw him. He walked on in, he took a look around, he asked a few questions about the great Lady Eldath and her temples on this world, and then he left.
Did he have a way of speaking?
I mean, he doesn't speak normally like I do, but beyond that, I'm not really sure.
I guess it wasn't more of a jovial, innocent tone, like a spark of wonder.
Oh, he
like
sounded like a tourist, if that's what you mean. He seemed interested to learn, but then once he seemed kind of bored and he moved on after we had our brief pleasantries.
Yes. Like, all right, Einosh. Yeah, so that's what I was given. Einosh is encroaching. How many clerics do you have out in the field?
10 of our number went to the Northern Temple to help reinforce the dozen or so that we've had there in the past. So I guess 22, assuming everyone's still with us. And praise be to Eldath that they are. Our numbers were once much larger, but unfortunately we had to spread out across the land. Well, fortunately, we had to bring the good word, of course, but we also had to keep an eye on that forest because it kept encroaching in different places. And once we lost the temple northeast of here some time ago, we've had to keep much closer eyes on everywhere that it's expanding. We're down to just the one temple left to keep us safe.
I'm assuming you've already put forbiddances in place.
Where we could. It's a bit challenging because as you try to cast the spell. As you're aware, it takes quite some time to get to work.
Yeah, and it's also really expensive. I did meet a jeweler who said that meeting you all have made trades with them, I'm assuming for the necessary requirements.
Are you
Thinks about
referring to
like
the spell components?
yes.
We've done what we can to gather resources to make this possible. Like, as I'm sure you're well aware, powdered rubies are not exactly the most plentiful
No,
item, but
especially 1,000 worth.
we've done what we can. Part of the challenge is that, of course, in order to rake any true progress, we need to cast it repeatedly.
Every day. Yeah.
Um, we've cast it in some places, but before we can reach the full 30 days, it seems we gather the tree's notice and it sends things to disrupt us. And it can overwhelm an area when the tree itself appears.
I really wish we had more people to work with. I'm assuming you've already tried, gathering everyone and, oh, I don't know, making holy water out of the whole rivers and
That
just
is actually
sending
what
that
the
in.
Northern Temple does. Um,
Yeah,
the
that
Northern
was my first
Temple
thought.
that rests across the Northern Lake, it is actually keeping things moving as well as they can by blessing the waters themselves, but also the underground currents that take them across the forest. We've actually enclosed the trees from here to there through the underground. Like, it's not enough to stop it when it gets full momentum, but so long as that temple stands and Eldath's blessing stands on it, it will continue to act as a bulwark against the coming tide of the unfortunate murderous
Okay.
trees.
I'm not gonna
If we
lie,
could
that was
somehow
my first.
restore the southern temple, I think we would actually be able to close the loop and seal it off long enough to force it into an area where it can actually be fought. But for now, it has too much space to move in for us to ever pin it down.
How hard do you think it would be to restore that?
It would be quite a feat. We would have to build a temple on the waters. The materials there can float. They are the remnants of, well, the temple itself is made of the remnants of a much older structure before that, but they're all
Aidin
blessed with the
pulls out the
property.
rock.
That is
I
it.
mean,
Yes,
yeah,
that is the material.
yeah.
The fact that it already floats on waters, given Eldath's blessing, and presumably older magics that similarly effective, it makes it much faster, but we would need time. We would need the resources to do this. It is very challenging to build a temple.
Oh, I know.
But should it be repaired and should we recover the necessary artifacts that allowed it to produce its holy water, we could, in theory, get things back to a manageable state. Because with that temple repaired, the waters that flow into and out of it
Would be
would
holy.
seal it away from the temple to the ocean and the temple to the mountains. There's
Okay.
actually another lake up in the mountains that connects the waters to the mountains above through a waterfall. So if we were to spread Eldath's glory through this temple, it would actually possibly reach the mountains and the snow that rests there and enclose the trees entirely.
The town that's within the forest that got consumed, did the people get out?
Uh, we have refugees that have made it to settle in other towns. There's a town downriver from the Northern Temple, received a number of refugees. Some of them are here, and some of them made their way to Ulthar in the east. The ones who were comfortable with the cats, of course.
Okay. How much time would it take you to rebuild the temple?
It would depend on the resources available. I couldn't do it myself. You would need a grand architect or someone with experience to construct such a structure, and they would be able to give you a better estimate. We've kind of given up for the moment and are focusing on preventing the Northern Temple from falling. It's not a winning
Understandable.
strategy, but it was hopefully going to buy us enough time for Eldath to send us something else. I don't suppose you know of a great builder or someone capable of helping in this situation.
I'm going to history check.
Sure.
I'm
What are you
assuming
trying to
Anon is
remember?
looking too. I just if there's anyone like that he's come across within his travels, like with the gals, like in his tribe, like anyone that he'd be like, this is a good builder, or if it's just complete blank, he can't even think of anyone.
Sure. Take a history check.
Because I mean, obviously, if this dude's in this town, he's not saying someone in the commerce area is good enough, then that just takes it off the table.
Quick question while you're rolling that.
Yeah.
How far away from the rest of the group are Aidin and Fishman?
I would assume, weren't y'all outside?
I mean, if you're outside,
Well,
they're
no,
inside,
just
but
Everyone else is
no.
inside.
Everybody else
oh,
went inside.
Oh,
Penelope and
okay.
Manus were the only ones who were outside because they wanted a private
oh yeah, the
conversation.
others are sort
Oh,
of
okay.
standing like in the entrance area or looking at the fountains and stuff. Aidin and the fishman, like Kakavia, are near the what would in a normal church be considered like the lectern where they speak from. So
Okay.
they're at the front.
Can we hear what they're saying or
I mean, it's very easy to hear what I can't talk now. What Kakavia
Kakavia?
says because he's loud as hell.
Yeah.
I will let Aidin decide how loud his responses are, but like you can hear at least
He's
half the
not.
conversation.
Yeah, like he's not that loud. Like he's just like pondering and just like he's just his normal talking self.
Okay. Then at a somewhat quieter part of the conversation, Diana's gonna walk up and she'll wait to speak until until it's a good time to speak.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so 18 on your history check.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of builders, you know that when you were restoring slash remodeling the keep, the Goliaths did a decent job of helping out with that. It's like not their main job, but it's something that they at least have some experience with. Um, from the fact that you spent time with them while they were doing it, they'd mentioned that their Goliath tribe had to put together like
Mm, mm.
essentially an entire new home for them once they regained access to the region with the aid of the stone that they got from Anise and Penelope
Gotcha.
way back when. So they've rebuilt at least a small town as a group. Now that was like with a bunch of Goliaths, not just the two of them, but
Yeah.
they've done that. You obviously know that Morgan's capable of putting things back together, but
But we do not
whether or
want to
not you
do
want
that.
to
No.
play that card, you can.
No.
Um, so that's an option. Um, in terms of other people that you've met who might be able to help out with this, you don't really know anyone who's like a full-on temple builder. Like, there's not really a lot of that done at this point. Like, temples and people that work without them. Like, technically, Lupin can like build a mansion, but it's not exactly a
Yeah.
temple.
Yeah.
Um, but nothing is immediately coming to mind.
If you want to come in, like he's pondering that if you want Diana to step in.
Okay. She's gonna walk up to Kakavia and be like, out of curiosity, you said that did I overhear correctly that the temples were basically just producing holy water?
Effectively, they were blessing the waters that flowed beneath them. This one does that as well. However, it's worth noting that those temples were actually in possession of artifacts that were capable of not only blessing the water, but allowing the blessing to flow through the water. This one is not so potent as that. I think there are too many different things going on in this area to allow such an enchantment to take hold. What with Residuum just being a lot of noise. But the two lake temples, yes, they each have an artifact that allows Eldath's glory to enter their water table and flow throughout the land.
So would consecrating those lakes help at all?
Consecration of the lake would presumably at least aid in the purification necessary for the ritual that could begin the process anew. One thing that we did suffer from when the northeastern temple fell was that we tried to recover the stone of Eldath from that temple so that we could hopefully rebuild. But while the temple itself and its rubble floated on the surface, the stone fell beneath the waters. And trust me, I tried to swim down there and recover it myself, but the water below the surface layer seemed to be tainted, possibly by the trees, and I had trouble breathing as I got further down, so I was not able to recover it. A consecration would possibly allow the recovery of the stone from someone capable of reaching the bottom, but I don't know what is lurking down there beyond the darkness. Normally I can see in such a place, but it's clouded to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, at least that's something.
Yeah. I
mean, because I can't exactly consecrate anything for Eldath, but
yeah, I can. Done it before and I'll do it again. There's a few concerns I have right now because like that last sending, he should be a stone right now. So the only thing I can think of is A, Einosh morphed a new body, or B, the stone is just a shell and he somehow got out. But it shouldn't be, it's a whole block. Like that is what the spell does. And I don't have enough magic to do two different things. I have two options to figure this out. Either A, maybe you could help me with this Kakavia. You may be able to commune with Eldath. I could try scrying. I would assume there's a distinction between just specifically that body of Clover's and Einosh overall. Or we could see if Eldath knows. I mean, I have put so many prayers into that area. I'm sure she's seen it. I don't know if she's seen over here. But we need to find out if this is a body double or what. If we commune, we can ask a few other questions as well. I can only do one or the other.
I am happy to assist you however I can. That is my mission here.
Okay. Are there any questions that you would like to ask as well, Diana?
I mean, this is your thing.
I want to make sure that, you have that opportunity. I'm not just going to say you can't say anything.
Oh, trust me, if I need to speak with Eldath, I will speak with Eldath.
Diana has a higher Karen score.
Yeah. Give me a moment. Gonna start using. Wait a minute. You said this is all holy water, right?
Oh yeah,
So I don't need to use my holy water to
you don't
commune.
have to use yours. Going to a temple has benefits.
I
Like I will
know.
tell you, if you start bottling it and take it away, it's not going to work. But like
Oh, I have
while you're
yeah.
here, it works.
Okay. Weird. While we're here, we can ask other questions as well.
I have no idea how long the conversation outside is lasting, so I don't want to be like, and then we walk in.
I mean,
I
you
mean, you
can
could
walk
walk
in
in if
whenever
you
you
want
want
to.
now.
Yeah.
Like keep in mind that we also
Yeah.
skipped past like
Oh,
the
excellent.
recap of all the information.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if there's any questions you want to ask, Aidin's going to consider them because I can only do a scry or a commune. I can't, or if he does the commune, I can do the scry to check it on Clover. But like Aidin can only do one or the other. He can't do both. So we gotta.
So you seem like you had a.
Not. Situation is.
So the questions I have so far is the Clover Kakavia met another body than the Clover we trapped? Do you know if Einosh is in allegiance with the Mystery Master? And then I can get a third question that we can give him. And it can be anything. Like now it's going to be a yes or no. And if
I'm going to
there's
ask that
anything
whatever
that makes
question you ask, you type into the chat, just because I don't want any flubbiness, because it is going to be a yes or no. So I
yes,
don't
yes, yes,
want to
I
have
will.
any
Yeah,
misinterpretation.
Yeah,
I got you.
Annis's number one question is, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter in the end what the Clover is that Kakavia met. That it's still Clover. Whether or not the statue is still there is a moot point. I guess it's like what should our next steps be here? Should we go to the North Temple to try and reinforce it? Should we be running interference while they rebuild the Southern Temple? Annis happens to be able to do something that's going to be very distracting for Einar and extremely dangerous.
Ooh.
Wait, say that again?
I can. So we fought a child of Einosh, me, Penelope, and a friend of ours, essentially two friends of ours, and took it down just ourselves. And we did this by cutting off the ley lines it was feeding from. I was able to move the ley lines away from the tree, so I could start doing that. It would really piss off Einosh, but he would either immediately attack me or send his minions to immediately attack me. But it would distract him away from that
The
temple.
building. Like, yeah. And that could help with building the other one or reinforcing.
The concern is that that stone fell so far into the water, and there seem to be things in the water. That's another big concern.
My biggest concern is that there's more Sparkies in the water.
Well, I don't know if it's those necessarily. It might be more servants of Einosh of the aquatic variety, maybe. I can turn into a shark and dive down there. I've got the water breathing potions, but I don't know how good any of us will be fighting underwater. At least one of us doesn't have to breathe, just looks over at Freddy.
I mean, that's true.
There's a lot of different ways we can take. Try recovering that stone. Try running interference while the temple is reconstructed. You can try helping out at the North Temple. Go off and do our own thing.
If we can get that temple reconstructed, at least the stone out, it could at least lock everything in again.
We'll have to be prepared to fight a whole lot of beasties, I think. Once again, we need more information, I think. Yeah.
So what would you like that third question to be?
Good question.
If she had one.
Has to be yes or no.
Yeah.
Is reconstructing the temple a good idea?
I feel like that'd be a yay. Okay.
We can get the Goliaths and maybe Kwaku to help with the reconstruction, but they're not going to be able to do it quickly on their own.
No. It might need to be a town effort. If we can get more people in on it, more hands, it might go quicker. All right. So I will. Let me know if that looks right.
It's in the Discord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here, I could put it in here too.
Yeah, put it in the game chat just so that we also have a record of it later.
I don't know if I spelled his name right.
The Mystery Master. You might need to clarify who that is.
Well, we don't know if it's actually.
Maybe is Einosh in allegiance with any master?
Okay, then I will.
Kakavia, you may not know this. Very weird question. She holds up her hand that has her command seal on it. When you spoke to Clover, did he have something like this on one of his hands?
Nobody definitely had some kind of fungal infection, which is why I did not want to shake it, and it was not very comforting when his hand was cold regardless.
Good on ya. Yeah.
I
Okay.
purified myself accordingly.
Good. Well, we're reasonably sure he's not a master then, so there's that.
Okay, yeah, that'll take a minute to do. And he's just gonna look to Kakavia. Could you do that for me? Please.
Okay, so are you doing just 3 questions?
Yeah, you only get 3 questions. You've got a
Okay,
minute to do so. Yeah.
got it.
He's asking Kakavia if he'd be down for it, because that leaves the scrying that I could do.
Yeah, he could do that.
Sweet.
All right, so he's going to pull together the party. All right, everyone, I'm going to be speaking with Our Lady shortly. And he walks to the front and he briefly closes the door. All are welcome, but interruptions are frowned upon at the moment. I'm sure others will understand. And then he takes the water on the that flows across the floor. He sits on something that was kind of hard to see before, but now that you're looking down, now that you're not looking at everything else, you can see that there is a circle on the floor. And within that circle is the symbol of Eldath, as you can see with the splitting rivers. He sits in front of it so that the water in it that looks like it's going down a waterfall is flowing toward him. And he places the incense at the top of it such that the incense sort of wafts in the direction that the water and the symbol flows towards him. And he begins to speak in a language that it It's not really a language that most of you can follow, but Aidin recognizes it as a. It's not really a language so much as just a chanting that Aidin has learned. Whether or not it actually has a real meaning, it's more ritual. Like it's about entering a certain state of mind to be in contact with Eldath. But for the rest of you, it kind of sounds like the crashing of waves almost. And after a minute, he begins to speak the questions, and he says, "O Green Mother Eldath, my friends come to you with many questions, and they seek your guidance. I now ask you the first of 3 questions. Please grace us with your knowledge, if the tides allow it. Is the clover I met another body than the clover they trapped in stone?" And in front of him on the water, ice crystals begin to form, and they take the shape of Clover's face and fractal ice. And then he says aloud, "It's unusual that she responded in such a way, but it does seem to be that it is a different body. Tide Mother Einosh, or Tide God, commas, important. Yeah, I'm getting too in character. Tide Mother Eldath, is Einosh in allegiance with any master in this Holy Grail War?" And the water in front of him seems to coalesce and doesn't like freeze over this time, but it seems to wrap around him in such a way that he nods. And then he says to the lot of you, "It does seem that there is a connection between Einosh and at least one master." Finally, Lady Eldath, is reconstructing the temple a good idea in light of everything that is occurring right now? And the water continues to flow around him, and then it lifts up a little bit as if to show the construction of a temple, and he nods. "She seems to think that the temple is necessary for our success."
Okay. See, Aiden, like, once that's given, the information, the first one, like, and then rounding into the second, he is stamping his foot in, like, anxiety.
Yeah.
You hear a little
Um,
splash, 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 splash as he does that.
Anise
there's
is in the back.
something I need to do sending really quick. And I need to write out a message really quick to Sir El-Melloi.
While this is happening, Penelope is like sitting on the water and she's looking down at her reflection to see if she can get Eldath to react that way again. It's like,
Looking down at the water, you just see your own reflection for now.
it's like, hey, Eldath, are you there?
Reflection Penelope asks the same question back at you.
And she's like tapping the water. Like, hello.
You
This is
don't
so
get
much
anything
easier.
beyond a reflection.
Dang it, this was so much easier the last time.
Body that still looks and acts like Clover. I wonder why.
Double
We
check.
do need to
everything.
reconstruct that temple, which means we're What?
Hold on. Irvine Gilrath.
Y-
Gilrath the snowman.
That's
Right.
exactly what I'm
In
sending.
Simulacrum.
That's what I'm
Right.
sending.
Huh.
He's made of snow. It
Clover's gotta
fragmented
be
in ice.
Simulacrum.
Right. Because he was cold.
Yeah.
That's you read my mind. That's exactly what I'm sending to.
So a Clover simulacrum is running around Dream's End right
Potentially. I'm double checking.
That explains the weird, like, fractally icy.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You read my mind.
That explains that. Good, I actually feel quite a bit better about that. Need to reconstruct the temple, which means someone, probably us, needs to get down to the bottom of that lake and get that stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an important part of reconstructing the temple.
We can do it.
We also need to draw Einosh's attention away from the temple, which I can very easily do. But we can't split up too much.
But
There is a chance, Penelope, right, that we could maybe talk to one of your bosses about how this bitch Einosh is going to be a problem with the Grail War.
Yeah.
Although, if he's allied with a master, it might be like, well, this is all in service of the Grail War or whatever.
Well, no, because if it's draining the mana,
It is.
that's a fucking problem.
And if he takes over the whole continent, that's a lot of the geography of the Grail War in the first place. Right. And you want to know what that master wants as a wish. Ugh. It's most likely that unsealable servant, the master of that.
Wait, hold on. Dude, sorry, were you saying something?
sorry, I was counting.
Ah.
Okay, sorry.
There we go. Yeah, he sends that in his mind real quick, just like double checking. You immediately caught the drift that I was. Glad we're on.
If I went to that northern temple and did the ley line stuff there, that would draw Einosh's attention very far away from while people are But there's still the problem of how to get down into the lake to get that stone. Can't be in two places at once.
Well, no, of course not. But I mean, you can.
How does your water walk work? Do you have to have been somewhere?
I have to have seen it in some way, shape, or form. So
Because
if
we know the North Temple is on a lake. So
yeah, well, it's like I have to have. I mean, maybe because like we saw it when we were up in the air, technically.
my thought is we dive down into that lake, fight all of the beasties that are in the lake, get that stone, and then go up north. And I'll start drawing Einosh's attention away with moving ley lines.
Yeah.
Long enough for them to reconstruct the temple, and that will just trap them in between the two rivers.
Mhm.
But it'd be a little easier to pin down Einosh and I don't know, riddle him with grenades, with holy hand grenades.
Penelope just has this shit-eating grin. Holy hand grenades of Antioch?
What do you mean? I rolled to determine whether we would have watched Monty Python
Oh
or not
no.
during the month gap. And what is Antioch?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Holy hand grenades.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway. And while we're doing this, maybe also we'll be leading the butcher and his servant on a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
Hooray!
If anything, hopefully I can help consecrate the waters as you dive in.
Out of character question. Has Anise mentioned that Belle knows how to polymorph things?
Diana knows.
Diana knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have potions of water breathing. I can polymorph and also turn myself into a shark.
You can
So
polymorph?
right, I can do it once to one person. There's the potions. My servant can do it too. So
that might be an option.
right, but when you polymorph someone into a shark, they have the intelligence.
Oh.
When I turn into a shark, I am me, but as a shark.
Ah.
Right. But I do have the potions of water breathing.
That might be the better thing.
And really only one person needs to get to the bottom of the lake and find the stone while everyone else fights all the beasties that are surely down there.
Probably is. And then I should probably go to Lucretia over at the church again.
Probably, at the very least, if she's not taking Einosh seriously as a threat to this girl, or she start.
I mean, Lucretia
doing that.
Version.
Oh yeah, right.
I'll see what she can do. What her kind of.
I think I'm close by for this too, right? We're all kind of together at this point.
Oh, yeah. We're all huddled up.
The only concern that Aidin brings up is that he's not a master participant. And that's where it's like, will the ruler still deem it because it's not a participant, but just a natural, like, quote unquote, natural outside force? It's not like a natural outside force, but it's not.
He's draining the mana.
It's draining the mana, and the mana is necessary for the rail war.
Okay, so then that would be the bypass.
Yeah.
Okay. That was his one worry. If that, cool, great.
I mean that's if Lucretia can share that information with the ruler, and the ruler deems that
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
You need to talk to your boss. I guess we can just go upstream and start Operation Einosh, but not Operation Kill Einosh.
I was gonna say, I sent you that sending before. I don't know if you saw it.
Checking it now. There it is.
Is this another split the party situation?
Yeah. See,
And you said the El-Melloi II, right?
Yeah, that was the Sir El-Melloi, yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't need to be. If either you or Diana can teleport through water up to the northern temple, so that we can start distracting Einosh away from the southern temple. But
we can't do that until one of us gets ready.
And we can't do that until we've at least gotten that holy stone out of the bottom of the lake so that they can reconstruct the temple. So the first thing we need to do is go get that stone.
Yeah.
And in theory, Miss Firehair can't attack us underwater. The hair will go out. That's all I got.
Yeah.
In the future vision, didn't someone say something about a servant in a chariot destroying that tower at some point?
Yeah.
That also might be a problem. Had a lot of problems.
Well, maybe if the servant that destroyed the tower, maybe that's the servant that's connected to the master that's associated with Einosh.
I really think it's that saber one, though.
I mean, I also haven't heard from anybody, so.
It hasn't been that long.
How long has it been?
It's what?
I assume it's been a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's been a few hours.
Okay,
so we should get a rest I guess we have to go back to that motel now.
No. Fish friend told me where some good hotels are.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Because
I'm
I
gonna do
wasn't
another sending.
super looking forward to sleeping in the stables. She just kind of gets closer to Penelope and leans down and whispers, "Do I out? I've been sharing a room with Derek, but it feels weird now." I was whispering, so I don't know if the mic actually.
We heard you.
Okay.
Just talk to them.
Oh
my god.
Penelope is the enemy of the 26 episode drama anime. She's what makes your couple get together by episode 3 in the good dating anime.
Slow burn, never heard of her.
It's like, okay, here's what you do. You go talk to the two of them. I know that's hard because it's you. You don't like to talk to people about things. This is going to make things easier in the long run. Talk to them. See if they would be comfortable sharing a room together. No. Hear me out.
Okay.
Because then they have to confront their problems too, and then you can get some peace and quiet while you actually formulate grill war things. Or you can just ask them what they want. If they're like, hey, it would be awkward to sleep in the same room, then go sleep in a different room. Not that hard.
It is, though.
No, it's not. You're making this more complicated than it needs to be. We're having this discussion in the Temple of Eldath. What the fuck?
I was trying to not
I know.
be loud. That's why I whispered.
You know how I get when I'm very just...
I know.
Ah.
Okay.
Diana just comes over. I mean, you could always just ditch the boys entirely. I'm not suggesting that I step in. I have no interest. But
see, Diane is offering me a suggestion. It's actually something that I would do without being coerced.
Look, I agree with Penelope's suggestion of making the boys just share a room to work out their problems. You can share a room with me. I've been sleeping in rooms by myself this whole time.
I thought that's what you preferred. I also thought
9 times out of 10.
Belle.
What about Belle?
You know what? Never mind.
I mean, Belle can do.
I realized I was muted.
You know what? I am gonna sleep in the stables. That seems like the easiest solution.
Hey!
Okay.
Join me in the hay.
Out of nowhere, Morgan steps in behind you and pats you on the shoulder and says, Anise, dear, make them sleep in the stables.
Yeah! Who
You know
was
what?
Wednesday?
But no, I don't want to be mean.
It's not being mean, it's getting them to think about what they want in their lives. If they're not willing to sleep in the stables for your comfort, then that might answer the question for you.
Yeah!
That seems unnecessarily cruel.
It is the way of things.
Sent you another sending, by the way.
And it's getting all of the advice, good, bad, all over.
All
it's
of
like a
it.
character litmus test.
Oh my god.
Okay, and Diana's just gonna go up and like hold Anis's hand and be like, "Look, Anis, I promise I'm not actually like into you.
Thank you.
If that makes you feel any better."
I don't know how that makes me feel.
No is the only one for me.
I know. I made that pretty clear.
Morgan rolls her eyes.
Don't make this hard on me, both of you. God damn it. It's fine. It's fine. Just know that I kind of agree with Morgan on this one. If the boys aren't willing to work together to ensure your comfort and your peace of mind, trash.
I'm going to make them
Damn,
sleep in
Diana.
I mean, you don't have to make them sleep in the stables. That's silly.
Thank you.
Just know that if they do truly love you, they will do something about the situation themselves.
doesn't make me feel better.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't
I'm
know.
literally. I don't know how to describe my relationship with men without turning myself into a blubbering mess. But that's the most experience I've had with a relationship, okay? If that explains anything.
So we don't have to go to bed together in
Just
Motel
act on it.
9. We don't
Just
have
act now. Go tell them now that they're both idiots and they can go sleep in the stables.
I am not doing that.
Alright, Aidin pipes up. So, as much as we would think that it would hopefully, and I say hopefully as in because we'd have at least a lead, that it's Gilrath, the simulacrum. He's on round-the-clock observation. He was given a full health inspection upon arrival. He said that he can't be infected without any of them knowing, not knowing. And as far as he's aware, no one with ice, specialty in ice magic has gone on that expedition. So we're back to square one.
Well, no,
I thought it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, no, I
Since
wasn't.
Gilrath could do the simulacrum thing, that means Clova can too, because it's really Einosh.
Oh!
Spell.
Yeah.
So Einosh
Okay.
cast a spell to make a simulacrum with Clova.
Okay.
Why
'Cause
Clova specifically?
He knows it'll get to us.
That's probably it.
And not even specifically us, but she points at Aidin.
That's also fair.
Not wrong. I get what you're saying. Sorry, I didn't quite understand your words, and that's why I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let me ask about. Okay, yeah, no, he's like, no, you're right, and that's frustrating, and he's gonna fucking scry on Einosh, because guess what? He pulls out the fucking root. I got his body, bitch. Give me that hoe.
Got a piece of one of his children.
I mean, I'll let you know in the meta. That's not going to
Now,
get you him. That would get you like
the child.
Oh well, then I'll
the dead
just
stump.
this man has been in my mind one too many times. I have a very close hatred for him. So
You can look for the tree if you want to.
I'm going for the fucking tree that's showing up as my boy.
Okay.
Where is it? It's a very intimate relationship. Thank you very much.
With someone you've never met.
No. I've he be in my boy's body. I've met him.
Are you looking for Clover or are you looking for
No,
Einosh?
I am looking for Einosh. I'm looking for the new simulacrum he's made. It's still Einosh. It's just Clover's body, yeah. Because if I say Clover, you're gonna give me the rock in the ground. I ain't falling for that. Clone Simu Clover.
Nah, Clone.
Okay, because for the familiarity chart, you've not met the target.
I know the target very well.
But you've not actually met them, so you don't know this one.
No! Don't do
However,
this to me.
you obviously know what they look like, so that's nice. I'm gonna have them make their roll now.
I've had him in my head. He's giving me a bloody nose.
That's just because you're an anime character.
Wow.
I'm glad that we could use Anis's problems to stall for time while you did Sundings.
All right. What is
love Anis's
the
problems.
DC for your saves?
Oh, I thought that it's hold on. I thought scrying had a
Target has to
stat
make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by other stuff, but I don't know what
okay.
saving.
Actually, shit, that's a good question. It's not on here.
I don't know why Fantasy Grounds doesn't just list it. I guess because they automate everything. All right, so.
Let me see if one of the spells just give it. Hold on.
I think it's 8 plus your proficiency plus your wisdom mod, if I remember right.
4. Yeah.
So
4 is 8, so 16 plus 10. Hold 8 plus. Hold on. I got a fucking math. So 8 plus that's 12 plus the other 4. So 16. Yeah, 16.
All right, 16 is the save. All right. Let's do the roll that the die may actually stay in the box this time.
I'm hunting.
Okay. Making me look up the tree save. 1 second. Thing I haven't had to look up in a while.
Fuck you, Wynosh.
It was a low enough one. Okay. Yeah.
I've
You
got
see
the
a
mirror out.
giant tree with blood red leaves.
So I don't get the body, the simulacrum body.
Nope, because you've met Einosh via that. You've never met the simulacrum. That said, the tree does have a number of blights wandering around it that look very angry. And unlike the blights that you're familiar with, these ones have red leaves.
Ooh. Like a guesstimate, like how many are in this, radius?
At least 20 of varying sizes.
And that's just within 10 feet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's 10 feet, but like
So
it's also up. So like they're
that's fair.
scurrying along its trunk.
That's okay. So, well, I got him. I didn't get a simulacrum, and yeah, the blights have red leaves,
Oh,
and
that's
they
different.
look, yeah, they very angry, and
I mean,
there's
yeah.
there's like 20 of them in this
Oh.
little radius. Yeah, just skittering around.
Well, I thought we would probably have to deal with blights, among
A
other
lot of
things.
them. Yeah. I'm so
Kind of
mad.
what Einosh does.
Yeah.
Blights is a bitch. His MO.
Yeah. Ellie's there. Hooray.
Alrighty. So I think you've got a general idea of what you want to do for next time. Is that
Yeah.
fair? I know that Penelope wants to go by the church.
Yeah.
And the rest of you are, I guess, going
it's
with
totally
her,
cool.
and then you're going to go get a hotel or something.
I know
So
Penelope wanted to go to the church and get the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Are the others coming with her to the hotel?
Yeah. Anise doesn't have any more errands to run in Residuum, really.
And then after that,
After we've rested, I guess the next thing is to go and get that stone. That seems like step one of the plan.
Yeah.
Eldath herself said it's important to reconstruct that temple.
Oh,
Can't do it
yeah.
without that stone.
yep. Cool. All right. In that case, just we'll say you're done here and you're going to go to the temple. Or not the temple, the church. Different
yeah.
kind of temple. So you go to the church. As you're approaching the church, there is a dude standing outside of it. It's a dude you've seen before.
Oh.
This dude.
Hey, what are
Hey!
you doing here?
And he sees a
Go
lot of
on.
you walking up. He leans forward
Hello.
and he calls over to you. He's like, so you guys are looking to put together some kind of alliance? And then we'll cut away.
Okay, but so we were in disguise.
You were,
No.
but you met him on the boat.
No, not on the boat, right? But like, I
Yeah.
don't think Anise interacted with him on the boat.
Nope, but he knows who Penelope
He knows
is,
who
and that is
Penelope
who
is.
the
Because Penelope used her
Yeah.
name.
yeah.
Fair.
So he recognizes Penelope. He does not know you as the people who broke into his house or visited him in Clock Tower. He just knows you as the people from the boat.
Does he have command seals? Can we see?
And you can't see, but he's just
You
leaning
can't
there.
tell.
But he's here. He's the dude. And he's going to talk to you next time.
Hooray!
Ah,
We did it. We're back. We're playing. Go
ah.
team.
But not next week, right? Because you're on.
No, we should be able.
Okay.
We'll discuss that
We'll
later.
figure
when
that
we're
out. But for
on
now,
stream.
I'm going to kill the stream because the video is already pretty long. And yeah, so thank you people for hanging out. We are back. We're going to try to get back into the swing of things now that life has calmed down a little bit. And who knows, maybe we'll get to play that underwater Mario music in the future. It'll be fun.
Ooh.
Or if you're bad, the underwater Sonic music.
Oh
Ugh.
no. Oh no.
The anxiety drown noise. An entire generation's trauma in like 8 notes. All right. Good night, the internet.
Night,
Good night,
Internet.
internet.